And we are live. There we go. Okay, it's Christmas time, everyone. Can you believe it? Just 15 minutes away. I'm so excited about this information. Yeah. Hello, everyone. In mid-chapter time, it's been a little bit since the last mid-chapter, because it's been 5 months, God, since we were here for SEA. So it'll be nice to have another one of these relatively lighthearted short chapters. That's pretty much all that the Christmas events are. But we'll have to see just how lighthearted it ends up being. Given how, SEA wasn't really all that lighthearted, all things considered. While Hell's Chicken was very lighthearted. So we're gonna have to see what middle ground it falls into here. Nope. I think OBS is messing with me. Hopefully it's gonna be fine. It's been weird lately. I don't know why. I need to figure out what exactly is going on with my OBS. Oh well. Exciting stuff. Okay, there we go. It might be working properly now. I hope at least. I don't know. I'm still not great at this thing. And using OBS to its actual fullest. I think it's working now, though. Keeps on giving me a warning, but it's probably fine to ignore that warning. I think. It's Christmas. Ignore the fact that, Christmas was 2 days ago, 3 days ago for people, anywhere in the eastern hemisphere of the world, but oh well. It's Christmas Day. Hello there. Time for a jolly old escapade into some sort of Christmas producing factory, some sort of present factory, I assume. That's what I got from it. It's hard to say from the trailer alone. I didn't, fully dissect each frame of the trailer, but that's what the general vibe seems to be. Of the fact that we're potentially going to be seeing some returning characters, but we are not getting any event IDs, so we'll have to see. Maybe we'll get event IDs next week or something if they're really feeling, silly. But then we're going to be getting... If that ends up being the case, then we're going to be getting Christmas IDs in January, so, don't know about that one. Might just not get event IDs until the Bamboo Kim mid-chapter. Which would also make sense a lot. It's definitely more fitting. However... Season 2 did have a total of 4 event IDs, because there was, Molar Boatworks and then Molar Office. So they very well could just do, 2 event IDs for, each mid-chapter. I don't think maybe they just don't have anything too good. We'll have to see what the actual thing going into it is going to be. We're going to have to see if we're actually going to meet those characters, and if they're actually going to be returning characters we know. It really seems like it, because they're, silhouetted. They're very mysterious. I think, the most popular theory is that it's Sen and Lesty. That's really the only, pair of characters from Runa that kind of match up to it. Even then, it's not perfect by any means, but it would make more sense than most other options. We shall see. Don't care if you get no other IDs that you go as long as we get Ahab Ishmael to Bamboo-hatted ID. Yeah, I think that's also a very good, fair opinion to take on it. We're surely gonna get Captain Ishmael, surely. And then, if they actually get, a Kim identity that's got some sort of fun counter mechanic, that'll be very silly. They're definitely willing to go for some more silly counters now, because we're actually getting, somewhat consistently multi-coined counters. Mobile autocorrect is weird. It really is. Does I really not think Kim's a real word? Maybe it... In what situation does skin make more sense than Kim there. I don't know. Autocorrect moment, that's for sure. Yeah, because we've got identities like, you know, Middle Dawn and Queecliff have, like, more interesting counters, especially Middle Dawn being able to turn into the skill 3 a little bit more consistently than, Kurokuma Rhodion's skill 3 counter. But who knows? Who knows what they will do when we do inevitably get that Kim ID? Who's it even going to go for? That's the question. Because, like, really, the most obvious choice for Kim is Yisung, but Yisung already has a Blade Lineage ID now, so I feel like they wouldn't give him that and a Kim ID. So it'll be someone else randomly, most likely. Who can say? I think it's pretty safe to say it's not going to be Sinclair, Otis, or, Yisung, because they already have Blade Lineage IDs. Although it could go either way, that's the thing. That is the thing. I don't know. Can't wait to yield my flesh to claim their bones, exactly. It'll go so well. I mean, they could make it so, like, if they do, like, yield my flesh skill 3, you have a very unique idea for Kim idea, and you mean your skill 3 to overthrow type skill where it gives him 3/power up on combat start. Yeah. Would definitely make a lot of sense. Although, it would make a lot of sense if he got, like, a funny... like, the real funny option would be if Yield My Flesh was his skill 3, and he had to actively lose clashes with his skill 3 in order to gain, like, stupid amounts of... and, like, maybe he gains, like, some sort of special, like, status effect when it happens, so next turn his first counter used gets, like, souped up into Claim Their Bones. Yeah, stuff like Overthrow, that could work well. I think stuff like Overthrow type stuff and just any of those, like, effects that kind of buff certain damage types for that, like, person in Ruina. It definitely is a little bit more uncertain here in Limbus, simply because of the fact that that sounds like it's going to be very reliant on having multiple skill slots. And identities that are reliant on multiple skill slots to be good kind of suffer right now. Especially in stuff like Mirror Dungeon 3, where you only get 6 people instead of 7, so that if you do remove one person, so you get an extra skill slot for abnormality encounters, you are giving up a fair bit compared to before. Barbarian came up would go to Merso, Greg, or Faust. Skill 2, yeah, skill 2 would also be a good thing for Yield My Flesh. Enables a skill which tricks on classes and causes him to lose fixed HP damage. Yeah. I think a skill 2 that you were supposed to lose would make a lot more sense than losing a skill 3. It would be really funny. High risk, high reward type of idea, yeah. I think something interesting for, like... this is something they don't really, like, use very much for the, Blade Lineage IDs, but something that is mentioned in Bamboo-Hatted Kim's, book in Ruina that kind of sticks out to me is the fact they're, like, kind of a group that sees scars as, like, kind of like there's the signs of being a warrior. So stuff that they could definitely synergize well from self-damage type stuff. It could definitely work well. Like, making it so, like, being damage is good. Like, so far all that Blade Lineage does in that regards is, you know, the fact that their counters actually require them to get hit, unlike how it worked in Ruin. And some hits, you take some hits. And, you know, the winner comes out, but... probably put special ID on the Reddit and later since it's hard to explain to you. Yeah, I see. I got a vague sense as to what you're saying with this one. That's for sure. There's a lot of ways they could take the Kim though, especially because like they don't even need to make him 1-for-1. That's the thing. They could make they could make his gimmick like entirely different here in Limbus. Kim could be a tank as well. Yeah, like a counter tank type thing. I guess we kind of are getting countery tanky. We've found some tanky counter identities recently, stuff like, well, the aforementioned Queecliff and Middle Dawn being somewhat tanky, pretty tanky. They kind of, not tanky as much as they benefit from taking damage, but that's the kind of tankiness I think they would probably do for Kim, if anything. We'll see. We're probably like a month or 2 away from that event. My guess is it's going to be probably mid-February, mid to early February. We'll have to see. Could be a month from now, though. Could be in, like, late January. Depends on when we get Refraction Rail. Because those are the only 2 things we know are coming this season. Refraction, I mean, also Walpurgis Night, but Walpurgis Night is just kind of a special banner. It doesn't really need a special event beyond the banner. Because we know Refraction Roll is coming, and then after that will be the Kim mid-chapter, and that's all we know for this season. What else will they do? Who can say? Who can say? 5 minutes ago. And then the update will release? Is it already... Let me check, actually. I'm gonna mute the music for this. I want to see. I know that the update's not out yet, but I want to launch the game. Yeah. Assuming it loads on OBS. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, for the event, they've changed the title screen too. It's, Dawn and Heathcliff just kind of... Well, Heathcliff's fighting was like, well, Dawn is like, wow, look at this creature. How silly. But, it's under maintenance still, so we can't actually play quite yet. Oh. Here we go. Other ideas you have with compassive stuff? Oh, hopefully, I don't know if my mic's picking that up. Oh, hopefully not. Plus, more base power to slash skills and ego. And its support would be Singular Strike, where it buffs single coin skills too. Oh, Singular Strike would be a great passive, yeah. Just being able to get that on, like, any identity that uses it, that wants it. Since he has Singular Strike and Ruin, the main person with Singular Strike is, of course, Valentin, but so does Kim. Can we contract by Heathcliff's half-brother to off him? Adoptive brother? Yeah, I don't know Wuthering Heights too much. I can't say for sure, but it makes sense, I think. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. You have no ideas for Kim ID, too many I must admit. Yeah, fair enough. Once again, I think the general receptions have the most interesting gimmicks of, like, basically any of the Ruiner receptions, partially because they were made so late into the game. I kind of wish they had, like, added more of them or something, just because, like, by that point they kind of had such a great grasp on what would be funny ideas. And they sure are funny. There's a lot of random things they could do. We will have to see. Two minutes until we get the fun. OBS moment. It's fine. Let me make sure everything is ready for once. You guys for candlesticks and for primitive poultry and everyone, even people who are familiar with the source period. Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk about that. I've heard a lot of people saying specifically, whip chain. Oh yeah, rusted chains. Yeah, they even say, yeah, rusted chain. Prokumos and Blade Lineage are all like kind of like rival clans, effectively. So we have two of them, but not one. Of course, there's the whole like charge, like self-satisfaction is kind of scary in general because you can make the joke once again that it's gonna do the thing where it's just gonna be charge again, but what are the chances of that? No, it'd probably just buff in general for having a lot of self-bleed or something, right? That's my guess. I don't know. I want more identities that can damage themselves significantly. God. Why is OBS being like this? I don't know. I keep on getting, the disconnected, reconnected messaging, and it might be causing some stuttering or something on the stream. I don't know. Anyways, it's time. Just got an update midday today. Did you get like a randomly like large update or something? I've heard a lot of people mention that, how there's like some random large update that keeps on like happening. Like 5 gigabyte update or something. I don't know. Like on this menu, of course. No clue why it's like that, but it's probably just a PM moment. That's the thing. Probably just accidentally like sent something through that just re-downloaded everything. Maybe it just cleared everyone's caches or something. Who can say? Anyways, We can get in now. We can take a look at what funny of things are going to befall us. Yeah, 5 gigabytes. Yeah, that happened to me like yesterday or 2 days ago or something. Like, I think it was probably like Monday or something. I don't remember the specific date, but yeah. It's on. I've heard a lot of people mention it. Just random thing. Backdoor volatility detected. Ooh, scary. My lunacy, give me... Oh, do not make modules. Yeah, that's right. New content. Miracle in District 20. Backdoor volatility. Yep, there it is. Miracle in District 20. We've got 4 weeks for this event. Reward exchange stuff. And of course we've got the new egos. Oh yes, they're event stuff, so it counts as season 3. Yeah. Holiday Otis. Of course. Oh yeah, give me that stuff. Well, might as well start with the daily extraction, see if I get really lucky with Otis, and if not, I will just shard her. Because I know better than to gamble for ego. Usually. Start extraction Ryoshu, that's funny. Oh. Really? You're really gonna be nice to me today, game. Okay, that's an ego. Sure thing. Like your fuel wrath in this gift set. And then whatever that second part of the statement was. That's like, I mean, that was 2 1.3% chances I got the ego. Alright. Throw it right back at your face. Pretty convenient. You know, sometimes gambling works. This wasn't even like a gamble, that's the thing. This was just my daily extractions, and it still works just so well. Alright then. Oh. And a 2-star ID for a little bit more shards. Sinclair shards, nice. As well. How quaint. I need to not click on that. I keep on doing it instinctively. What do you have to say? I'll shove this feudal blink in this gift set. Fair, Wrath is funny. Here we go. Perfect. I want to eat Wrath. What a very fitting thing. Okay, I guess first thing first, let me take a look at the reward exchange. I want to see how long it's going to take to get Heath's ego. Okay, it's 2,000. Is that a lot? Is that a little? It's like halfway mark. Okay, it makes a lot of sense. Some random events and stuff. There's, you know, a fair share of those. How's like the thread amount looking? Decent bit of thread, decent bit of boxes. Yeah, pretty solid overall. Okay, first and foremost though, then I'm gonna need to build a team. You don't know what I want to use. Let's see, we want to use something that actually synergizes with Holiday potentially. Eat Wrath. Like, have you seen the Wrath pack of 2 lately? They look so delectable. They're like as if they were made of candy or something, potentially. Okay, we'll get this to Thread Spin 3 as a baseline, and I'll see if I want to get it to Thread Spin 4 afterwards. Okay, let's see. Otis Holiday. 20+1, 3 target, mass attack. Ooh, Sandolph. Okay. So it's a Rudolph aberration that's, you know, some Santa Rudolph type thing. Makes a lot of sense looking at it. That does mean, of course, that, you know, it technically isn't Rudolph's. You know, Rudolph deniers get their own sense of solace in a way. But, it's still basically Rudolph, so... Suffer. -2 offense level on this. Tremor Burst, apply 1 damage up to the affinity with the highest resistance count for 3 allies with least SP. Deal 20 SP for 3 allies with least SP. Okay, sure. Interesting set of sins needed for this. Lust, Sloth, Pride, and Envy. No Wrath, no Gluttony. Okay, so it's another case of an ego that actually doesn't cost its respective resource. That is very interesting. Corrosion costs 10% HP. What kind of avenues feature in the holiday egos? I mean, it says Sandolph here. It's like a muscular Santa-like Rudolpha, basically. That's all we know of it. I assume we're going to be fighting against it in the upcoming, in this mid-chapter. So we're gonna know by the end of the stream, I believe. Lose SP on hit. Oh, target lose SP on hit, yeah. Tremor Burst, switch fragility for the affinity with the highest resistance count, gain damage up to the affinity with the highest resistance count. Okay, 2 fragility could be interesting. It's a 4 target. Sure. And then the funny passive, randomly apply one of the 5 normal debuffs. Like 1 potency of the selected effect of 1 random any 5 times per turn. When applying positive effects to other allies with skill effects or coin effects. So it happens whenever Otis in particular buffs allies. So stuff like G-Corp Otis. What does Otis have that even buffs allies beyond that, though? Because, like, G-Corp Otis is, like, a fair bit of it, of course. I guess you give haste to allies with your skill 3, right? Yeah, that triggers it, technically. Anything that buffs allies. You don't have a lot that buffs allies right now is the issue. You've got some stuff. I don't think 7 has anything, though, right? Yeah, 7 doesn't benefit from this passive at all. Oh, look. How's it going? I'm going good. I managed to I did 2 daily pulls and got it. Yeah, this doesn't... Okay. I'm very confused right now because this effect seems kind of lame. 1 potency seems like almost nothing. Yeah, it is. 1 potency of the selected effect to 1 random ally 5 times per turn. So this is like comedically bad. So first thing, you need to have Otis in particular buff an ally. I think the only way she can do that, I didn't check like some varieties, but like there's only 2 ways she can buff people like with actual skills. Like your skill 1 and skill 2 can trigger the passive, and your skill 3 can trigger the passive because of the haste. But that's it. I guess this... Yeah, okay, Yasa and Yada triggers it too, I guess. That's something to keep in mind. But then even when that does trigger, it's 1 potency of one of these effects at random. Okay. That is insanely bad. It doesn't even get upgraded at Threadspin 4. What do you happen? It targets more people with the sanity stuff. It's on hit instead of, heals it for that effect. Yeah, no, that seems interesting. That is potentially one of the worst ego passives in the game. I guess we'll have to see. I guess we're running G-Corp Otis, though. Trying to see if we can actually get that passive to trigger ever. And I guess before we actually get into the thing itself, we can take a look at the new ego. I'm definitely not going to be able to get it today. God, there's so much text going on here. It's 3 Gluttony, 2 Envy, so it's fueled by Rabbit. That makes a lot of sense. No Wrath is interesting, though, for either of these. Okay, on hit, it's like one of the following. This is a 2 attack weight at Threadspin 4, by the way. It's a 2 attack weight Zayan, same situation as, like, Ryoshu Soda, although a lot cheaper than Ryoshu Soda. They get caught. Holiday Heath, no. You need to do the event to do it, unfortunately. I'm gonna need to grind for it. So not yet, but we can still take a look at it. I'm gonna apply 1 potency of the selected effect next turn. Repeating the process 2 plus highest gluttony absolute resonance times 7 times max. So the 5 gluttony absolute resonance means you'll apply a total of 7 potency of random status effects to random enemies. And on kill, randomly select one of these effects. 2 poise count, 2 charge count, 2 haste, 2 off level, 2 defense level, and apply the selected effects to 2 random allies in next turn. I mean, next turn is good for the poise count and charge count to not, like, degrade. But, like, okay. They are going very daring, that's true. Thank you, DC. Targets the unit of the most SP. Okay, that's interesting. Indiscriminate target. Main SP target higher than 15, plus 1 attack weight, so becomes 3 at corrosion, and he loses SP. That's a funny effect. One of the following things. This is the exact same thing as the Awakening one. And then the passive. When this unit has a negative, has a stat effect or a negative effect, and the target has a positive effect. And play plus. This passive seems good though. That's the thing. Potentially. Plus 1 more bleed. Burn, bleed, tremor, rupture, and singing potency to self and enemies with skill effects or coin effect, and gain more poison charge count with skill effects or coin effects. Yeah, this one seems like it could be really good. for just a little bit more consistent rupture, but, like, at the same time, you could just inflict rupture instead of using this ego. Yeah, I don't know about this one. What was its roll? I didn't look at its roll. 17 plus 8, that's similar-ish, and, you know, Gluttony, Envy is not great. Envy is kind of interesting. Not necessarily you have to pay attention to your free play run and balloon tower defense. Awesome. Plus one more poise count. Yeah, let me pull it up again. Let's do it. Yeah, interesting that it's count for these two instead of potency. It's potency for the debuffs, but it's count for the buffs. However, is this one of the things where it's +1? I mean, I mean, it's always count for this. I mean, for poise though. What's the deal with the reason poise-based IDs Project Moon is released recently? I mean, I think they're just trying to focus on poise was one of like the worst status effects before the season, so they're just trying to make it good, it seems, which is nice. Tremor IDs are great. Tremor has like Molar. It has Regret. It has like Rose Banner. Tremor has great IDs, but Tremor itself is just weak. I don't know. That's probably enough. I guess. What do I want to do for a team? I don't know. I'll just do something random, I guess. I'll have you there. Who else is very festive? I don't want you. You're a little too festive for my liking. I gotta have like a Heathcliff on, that's for sure. You guys is very festive. D3 star win one day. We can focus heavily on 1 or 2 statistics per season. Yeah, last season was Tremor and a little bit of Rupture stuff going on too, and you know, stuff like that, but Season 2 was Charge. Season 2 was supposed to be Tremor, I believe, but we got a lot of Tremor stuff that season, but you know, Charge was a constant for some reason. We didn't even get a lot of Charge-based stuff, it feels like, but we got so much. It didn't feel like the Charge was like on purpose. It felt like they just wanted to add Charge stuff. I don't know though. See, back to planning. We'll throw on Middlemer, so we'll do you. I kind of just want to throw like some random stuff together, see how it works. Mainly go for some 2 stars, some 7 IDs potentially. Yeah, okay, we'll roll with this. Some combination of this stuff, that'll work. Don't want to have like a season or like a theme thing for the team. That's a funny effect. But anyways, without too much more of a thing. Time to get looking. Revisit the adventures? I can't yet. This is just a thing we saw before. But oik Pawhead, let's get cracking. We can see the stages. Oh, interesting. We're starting in the bus itself, and it looks like we're gonna start heading down the corridor. Very interesting. It means we're probably getting a bunch of random story stuff to start out with. Well, let's take a look. As our voyage on the Great Lake extends, the list of things to keep the senators entertained grows ever smaller. In a way, it sounds like a serious problem, but I should probably move chat real quick. Don't want it to be too much in the way. I did not grab chat. Whoops. Let's do some. Okay, that'll work or something. Hopefully. Shh. Guys, anybody got any fun stories to tell? No, for the 30th time. I suppose we're repeating the exact same phrase that many times as a talent, if it could even be called that. If you're having trouble recalling what you said moments ago, she has repeated that phrase 28 times, to be precise. At 30, I was planning to verify if she had suffered any damages to her occipital region. I get it. I'm just that bored, okay? There's nothing to do anymore. I'm tired of playing the same game of backgammon again and again. Good. I've got a job for you then. How about you start feeding the seagull on time for once? Somehow it became my responsibility after all of you got tired of taking care of it. They're actually, like, taming the seagull. That's so awesome. Yeah, we're gonna have to let the seagull go once we're out of the Great Lake anyway. Why do you even let yourself get attached to it? Oh no, is it illegal? Can we not, like... We probably can't get it through, like district security. Like, you know... We're probably gonna go into T-Corp and they're gonna be like, you can't bring that, and then they're just gonna, like, kill us all for trying to bring a seagull into their district. Just look at her. The way she looks at you. Those woeful eyes. Oh, seagulls are kind of like cockroaches, maybe. What, your average seagull eyes? It was abundantly clear that the sinners were starting to slowly expire from sheer boredom. Seagull announced the truth. Hello, Armagon. Well, it's not really a problem that has a solution. And I had zero interesting stories to tell, considering that I am an amnesiac. So, all I could do was sit here and watch the sinners suffer. Putting them through the daily trials of the mirror dungeons wasn't the most exciting activity. Yeah, it truly is a daily trial, huh? Oh, whoops. Oh, notifications on. Runa snap. No, if it picked up from the mic. I don't know if it did. It might have. Ugh. Speaking of which, Heathcliff appears to be the one least affected by this mess. Well, not that he was all calm and aloof, that is. I'd say he's anxious. Wait, Virgilius. Oh. Oh, is it a shock that he said Virgilius' name? Because, like, he never calls people by the right names, right? That's the thing, he's always like Bud or something. Oh, even Murso is like shocked, like the Limbus Vine Boom type noise. Huh? A frosty silence descended upon the sinners, and the source of that frost was the inexplicable event that played out before their eyes. Huh. Oh, Heathcliff, have you gone insane? Did you finally snap? This must be the side effect of the consultations. Maybe we can call this sense of self-preservation loss. I'm just gonna kill them for this. Fair enough. But Heathcliff, shut your traps. I ain't mad, and my sense of self-preservation is just fine. Impressive, Heathcliff. I rarely found myself surprised in this series of misadventures so far, but this is one of those rare occasions. Speak. What is your business? It's the, our next destination is T-Corp, innit? Do you really need me to answer that? You know what I'm talking about. Patience, Heathcliff. Though it seems to be a virtue most of you lack. If everything goes according to the flow, you'll make it to your appointment on time. Their appointment? I think, is that a joke on the air ticket? It could be. Heath knows he next. He really does, and he is not happy about it. I'm still out of the loop, but Heathcliff must be really anxious about something if he's willing to talk to Virgilius first. And after all that, that's not... What else could possibly be more important than the Wait. Heathcliff turned around to face us. Oi, any of you got any history with T-Corp? Show of hands now. Heathcliff's like, wait, does it possibly be someone else's, like, trauma? Surely it's not just mine. Surely, T-Corp IDs win probably next season. I think it's pretty likely we're gonna see more of them. Especially given we've already, like, fought them. I have, in a way. I resided in that place once. Yeah, Yisang was the architect making, like, horrifying factories during the day and, you know, doing his, you know, imagination-type SpongeBob stuff at night. Right, but we already did you, didn't we? Then, yeah, soon it'll be. But we're still in the middle of this mad lake. Oi, Clockhead, what's today's date? How would I know? You're a clock! Can you tell the date? You have a clock for a head. No, he can't tell the date, he can just tell the time, Heathcliff. But clocks and calendars are complete. Heath, that was your 30th sign today. Keep doing that, and you might just hop and pop our boat to pieces. Well, tell us, Heathcliff. Your turn's coming up, isn't it? And whatever it is that awaits you there, you're gonna have to prepare yourself for it. Uh, yeah, I suppose. There's no use hiding it anymore. After some time. Right, so to summarize, Heathcliff's starting to feel like his turn's coming up, now that Ishmael's had her time in the ringer. And he's got good reason to believe that, because Virgilius had him something in their last consultation that affirmed his something. He'll need some fancy clothes and whatnot to refine his looks before we get to T-Corp. Oh, wait, oh? Is that right? Forgot that Heathcliff's chapter might need... It's not, it's not a might, see if I have it. I think I have it somewhere. But, yeah, if I pull this up real quick, the Season 3 roadmap, yeah, it's Heathcliff. We already know the order of all the chapters. Next up was Heathcliff. We know it. It's been known for a while. Yeah, very funny. Afterwards, it's gonna go Heathcliff to Dawn to Honglu to Ryoshu to Merso to Otis to Faust, I believe. That's the entire, like, reign. Right on. So, yeah, so there's not much you can do about that before we hit solid ground, is there? Fractionary 3 is closer. Yes, we love the railway. It's coming, it's coming. Oh, come on, Heath, that's it. Don't you worry, I can definitely help you with that as soon as we find land. And we are. Dante, we have reached the end of the scheduled work period for the sinners. Huh? Oh, yeah. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. Look at the roman for the town, so you can't tell who's next. The actual order of cantos, it wasn't like, it's based on the order the sinners revealed, like, introduced themselves to Dante. So, like, it started out with Gregor, he introduced himself, then it was Rodion, then Sinclair, Yisong, Ishmael, Heathcliff, Dawn, Honglu, Ryoshu, Merso, Otis, and then finally Faust. Heathcliff's holiday is just... It's just the festivized body theft. I reflexively said my usual routine piece as the light alarm played. Meh, that wasn't even a big deal then. Ugh. I was hoping to see an act of dramatic bloodshed for once. Well, at least he wasn't trying to stir up trouble for once. The sinners each got up from their seats, yawned and stretched, and one by one disappeared into the back door. Oi, blockhead. Didn't know they knocked your wits off alongside you with your head. I think it's gonna be 34 cantos based on Dante's Inferno. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be 1-for-1. I think I'm of the theory that we're gonna get 12 cantos for Inferno, and then we're gonna move on to Purgatorio and then Paradiso, which will be a little bit less formulaic, but we'll have to see. We've still got a couple years before we get to Canto 12. So sorry, but Gregor isn't completely wrong, is he? Can't you even mince words at this point? Ugh. Virgilius and Karen also walked into the back door, mocking grins on their faces. And I was left alone in the ship's cabin, standing awkwardly next to severely crestfallen Heathcliff. Ahem. Oh, Dawn is here to cheer up Heathcliff. Partner and act type thing. Wait. There was another... This is such a funny line to say for Dawn, of all people. There was another. Sir Heathcliff. Huh? What are you doing out here, girl? Run along, you. Go gush about the high and mighty fixers of T-Corp or something. Yeah, because Dawn Canto is Canto 7, she's also going to get an expanded focus going forwards, that's for sure. I still have plenty of time for that later. Yet thou shalt do well to treat me well, Sir Heathcliff. What, you little... Hold! Allow me to finish, Mandra Squire. Sir Heathcliff, come hither. Hush, hush. Don Quixote wore a confident smile. He slowly, gingerly walked over to presently and temporarily vacant Karen's seat, and whispered ever so silently to us. Forsooth, I devise a splendid plan for thee. Oh great, what is it this time? What are you doing, Dawn? Windmill Avenue, yeah, it's gonna happen. There's just gonna be so many story segments here. It's gonna take so long for us to actually get to Christmas. Oh, we can also see there's 12 stages in total. Interesting, interesting. A tempting offer. Don Quixote brought us to the helm of the ship. There it was, the monitor that Faust would analyze whenever we had a backdoor volatility. And there they were again, those unknown symbols. Story of None of the Sinners has been closed so far. Purgatory was second act, and the parodies will be the finale. Yeah, they've got plans for this to go for a long time, that's for sure. That's a good way to go for it. Let's see what Dawn's master plan is. So, what is this splendid plan of yours? I don't think there were words in this world expressive enough to describe that look on Heathcliff's face. It was certain that he had very scant expectations for Don Quixote and her plans, but there was this sliver of hope in his face that maybe, just maybe, Don Quixote might rise to the occasion for once. It is unclear whether Heathcliff's internal struggle mattered much to Don Quixote, however. She began excitedly describing her plan. Didst thou, Sir Heathcliff, ever hear tale of the ancient and legendary fixer of Deviat Association? The Red Sack. Okay, Deviat is the... Oh, okay, yeah. Isn't, like, Santa, like... Isn't, like, there's, like... Santa's, like, Russian in, like, some, form, right? I don't remember the Santa lore too much, but, like, Russian Santa is, like, you know, a common, like, theme, right? So Deviat's the Russian Association, they're 9. And they have the Red Sack as a fixer. Oh my god. What an interesting... Okay, this is the third red fixer we've heard of, assuming this is the same one. Although this might not be a color fixer for all we know, this could just be whatever is going to happen down. We'll have to see. The red... what? Like Virgilius? It is said that the legendary Red Sack carried out his deliveries no matter how terrible the terrain or how arduous the journey to all corners of the city. And with him was his sidekick, Reindeer Man. God. What a strange color fixer to exist. Forsooth, his magnificence has given away gratuitous gifts for children of the city that he deemed to be kind. Tis but common knowledge, Sir Heathcliff. He appeareth on the front cover of the Fixer's Monthly every winter. Don Quixote asked, sounding genuinely shocked to learn that Heathcliff did not know of this Red Sack. The honestly, you only allow single fixers of the same color. We don't know that. People just theorize that. We still don't know that for certain. That's just kind of what people think. Hold that book, Virgilius. What about that book? Oh yeah, Virgilius just the Santa ones. I think I've got an image of that. Yeah, we've known Christmas exists in the city for a while, thanks to Leviathan. So is this Virgilius not dressing up as Santa, but instead dressing up as the Red Sack? Although I don't even know about that too, because if we pull up which image is it? I think this one. I've got a couple of Leviathan image. Yeah, quote unquote Santa has places to be, so we'd better let him off. Maybe Santa's the real name of the Red Sack though. That's the thing. Could be. Yeah, I feel like we gotta keep him in the corner for at least a little bit. You know, live Virgilius reaction. Makes you think I'd ever read rags like that. Like, the idea that in this city, Christmas was started from, like, some sort of ancient red fix... Assumably he's, like, actually dead by now. That's probably the thing. Like, he's probably, like, a super, like, ancient fixer. That's what Dawn just said, right? Something about it being, like, a super ancient fixer. Tale of the Ancient and Legendary. So, yeah, this was probably before Red Mist, even. Yeah. And so, I wonder if this abnormality we're about to see then, this, Santdolph is going to be an abnormality of an aberration of Rudolph based partially on the Red Sack. Or this is actually the Red Sack. I haven't started to find the Red Sack is gone. Yeah, he loses his Christmas spirit. He becomes unjolly, and his eyes start glowing red, and he kills you. Thee, rags thou sayest, manager Esquire, surely thou hast heard of this magnificent publication. I knocked on my ticking clockhead. I didn't really feel the need to spell it out for her. So none of thee has subscribed to it then. Mine words fell on deaf ears. Love how they made the world feel more alive in Limbus. Yeah. Being able to actually travel through the city is great. Gotta clear Canto 5 first before entering the 5.5 Canto. Not even done with Canto 4. The good thing is you can still gain the rewards even before getting to the 5.5. As long as you just do main story stuff while the event is active, you will build up the resources, so you can just gain rewards anyways. We're gonna actually fight a red sack distortion by the end of the event. I think it's gonna be an abnormality. I think it is Santdolf, whatever it's called, the abnormality that has the holiday ego. Anyhow, what matters to thee, Sir Heathcliff, is that thou endeavourest to make thyself more presentable than anyone else for this occasion. Is it not? Finally getting to the point, eh? Go on. Very good, sir. Costume most befitting that occasion would be those of the red sack and his sidekick reindeer man. This isn't going to end well, is it? What, like those ridiculous fixer they'll attardes hair, ardient whatever. It's not ridiculous. Thou hast not even deigned to indulge mine only wish that we would cosplay fixtures though ardente together. Thou hast not even given it a chance indeed. Speak on a matter thou know not about. This is actually something she mentioned before. She said cosplaying is them before. So these are just actual fixtures in city. It's something sunset, right? Let me pull it up real quick. Google Translate into car de ser ardiente, which is fiery sunset. Yeah, roughly. So some sort of burn-based fixers. Maybe. We'll see. It could be color fixers, some like a pair of color fixers or something like that. So Dawn wanted to cosplay as them in particular with Heathcliff. With all that talk of a splendid plan, I thought you were actually going somewhere. But it all comes around to that fixer nonsense again, eh? We're adopting in the Scorch Girl and Spider-Bud treatment. Yep. Oh well. Well, I mean, the good thing is we're gonna get to actually fight the Rudolph Aberration, it seems. Those two started Papa Bongi Dungeon, nothing is really difficult to farm, indeed. And you know, the fact Mirror Dungeon 3 is the longest grind yet, because it'll take like roughly like 150 runs or something to get all Starlight. Although it can be a little better than that depending on how you do it. Huh, don't even have the energy to beat the sense into you. I'll get to it later. 5 honest hits to the noggin should do it. When the sliver of hope on Heathcliff's face was beginning to rapidly fade. Prithee, share thy thoughts of the fixtures that we have laid our eyes upon thus far. What? Embarrassing, were they? Remember, were they not fancy and impeccably dressed? Close not thy eyes and heart. Speak! Absolutely embarrassing sods, yeah. That spandex bloke from K-Corp looked like he leapt right out of a circus. Nay, Lord Siegfried was not embarrassing. I said his outfit was rather dashing, wouldn't you agree? Allow me to explain to thee thy material of its fabric, so that thy understanding... Okay. We get it. We get it, Dawn. You're not normal. Excuse me. Huh? Hither, Sir Heathcliff. I am yet unfinished. An hour later. Why is the girl so hyper today? Well, Lord Siegfried is a special outlier, mayhaps, but dost thou now agree that most fixers are all rather well-dressed and wore honor upon their sleeves? Honor upon their what? I don't know about that, but I suppose they were quite posh. Exactly. Follow the eye, and thou shalt see thyself dressed as impeccably impressively as the fixers are. They took like 2 cantos. I mean, Siegfried's just like some random guy, though. That's the thing. Not everyone needs to like be a consistent force. It kind of makes the city feel more alive. You know, we see people, we hear about them every once in a while, but like not constantly. Like, fair enough. We don't even know if he's a color fixer. That's the thing. He's strong, but like he doesn't have a color title, so I think he just works for K-Corp or something. Right. So let's say I go along with your plan. Where are we going to get them clothes? Honestly, everyone was right. Where are we even going to pick up clothes in the middle of a lake? Huh. Yet I have thought of that as well. Recall the events of yesterday. The sirens had echoed across this bus. Dost thou remember? Now that I think about it, there was a siren yesterday. It went off not long before I announced the close of business for the day. But Faust said that that backdoor volatility wasn't anything for us to worry about. Siegfried actual legend from what place? Forget. Siegfried. Germanic. Yeah, Germanic hero of legend. Killed a dragon. There's like Norse type stuff too. Like Sigurd, occasionally called Sigurd, something like that. Yet, I was curious. How indeed doth the Faust determine which volatility is useful and which is not? Thus, as we were all crowded by the back door, preoccupied with returning to their respective quarters, I have secretly and stealthily availed myself the chance to take a glance at the screen. Okay. What are you gonna do with this information? Is this an actual language of the city? I think it sounded like it's like incomprehensible symbols. There are, some Christmassy symbols here, though. There's, like a snowman, there's a snowflake, Santa, man in a suit for some reason. I don't know. How does Karen drive that? Who knows? How much of this does... She probably just turns the wheel. That's probably all she does. So you took a peep at the screen. You know to read those complex symbols. Nay, I myself had little hope in recognizing them, yet when I looked into them, I could very easily tell what the particular symbols on that device indicated. Forsooth, were symbols of the red sack and the reindeer man, and next to them was a symbol indicating posh outfit. Oh, yeah, that's what this is. This is the posh outfit symbol, and this is the red sack and reindeer man symbol. Good to know. Oh, it can't be that simple. Yeah, no, it can't be that. So silly. I agreed with Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote remained enthusiastic as ever, as though she was already expecting him to say that. Dost thou know? Every so often, certain symbols appear on the carefully. And 'twas yes, 'tis my nature as an adventurer, manager, esquire, mine inability to quell the burning adventurous spirit. I prostrate before thee. Know that I have taken the sneakiest of peeks. Marry, 'twas not too foolhardy. I have only taken a small peek. And if I told thee that what I witnessed from within, that all my deductions and predictions have been proven true, could thee find within thyself compassion to spare mine soul? You absolute muppet. Why in the bloody hell do you keep doing what everyone tells you not to do? Right, Heathcliff. I just don't understand why some people keep doing things that everyone tells them not to. I remember when Heathcliff ignored all warnings and went the restricted areas past the area of the corridor that we're allowed to use. We almost lost Heathcliff that day. It was a tad different this time, however. Back then, Heathcliff had no idea what was beyond that door. And this time, we do. Are you suggesting that we call everyone over to explore that place? Nay, the three of us will be more than sufficient to handle this task. All tales begin with a party of three, indeed. That's true. You're just scared of the consultation, aren't you? I have nary clue as to what you may be referring to. God, the answer to this predicament was right there. Tell them that it's too dangerous and shove them back into their respective rooms to rest up for tomorrow. Manager Esquire, that zone indeed appeared to be a place most peaceful to mine eyes. 'Tis a simple task, is it not? All that we seek to do is to enter there and avail ourselves of a few sets of clothes for Heathcliff. It was obvious that Don Quixote wasn't helping Heathcliff out of pure kindness of her heart. Also, they don't know this, but, dressing up as Santa and then, going to a consultation with Virgilius seems like the best way to have Virgilius hate the sinners even more, given how he already has, plenty of trauma regarding it, but, oh well. Maybe she hungered for an adventure, or maybe she thought that she might be able to do that cosplay of the Fixers that she so admired. But if we can find Heathcliff some nice clothes to put his heart at ease, then... Maybe I can do something about this before things get out of control. Like it did last time when I just let a singer's anxiety stew and exacerbate. Fine, but we're turning around to the first sign of danger. Seriously? Come on, you were willing to do it if it meant that you could pick up some clothes. Thus. Well said. Unless we convene tonight before Manager Esquire's quarters, we shall knock in the following rhythm. Knock, 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 knock. Time. We agreed on a precise time before returning to our respective rooms. Oh god. This is gonna go very well, I'm sure. Oh no. There's the factory. We can see it just out of the side now. Oh, this is a fight. It's a little sword with like a hat on it. How silly. How silly that is. We entered the back door Don Quixote claimed to have seen, and it was what appeared to be a factory. Clearly not her first time in the establishment, Don Quixote calls over to someone. Huh? You... Oh no! Oh no! And these are strong. Oh, it's exciting stuff. Do I have some tickets I can use? I'll use She Association if, you know, for the bit. So I can level them up decently. Might as well. I could, you know, use better units for this, but also, like, buffering a little bit. It would be pretty funny. And we'll run to this team for now. And I'll switch to, like, actually good units if need arises for it. Who should go first? Probably Dawn. Okay. Actually going with the bit. A dark, silent night. All are sound asleep. Okay, silent night, holy night. Thus we assemble. This better be worth the trouble. It will be worth every trouble, of course. Now, come hither. Alcohol. Not like the obvious joke to make there, but like, I didn't expect it to actually happen. God. This is where, like, Middle Dawn... This is why we have Middle Dawn and Queequeg Heathcliff. It's so you can just tank these guys relatively fine. Oh. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit that. I meant to pull up the log, because we quietly and sneakily followed Don Quixote, not taking care not to make a noise. Not even a mouth. Yeah, it's just vaguely paraphrasing it. Are we really crossing this line? Bloody hell, lass. Don't you know what happened the last time I crossed it? Alas, it will be different this time. All we must do is follow the corridor immediately to the right of this delineation and open the door here. So they're the symbols she was talking about. Past the door, through the window, the symbols Don Quixote mentioned shimmered. Symbols that seemed to indicate a sack, a wrapped present, and would appear to represent fancy clothes. So they're the red sack and the reindeer man's symbols? Precisely. Right, I suppose you're the expert with these things. I'm going in. Huh? Hold on! Before I even had the chance to stop him, he barged into the door, and we found ourselves almost getting dragged in by his sheer fervor. Oh ho! We found ourselves in a rather sizable room. This place was decorated with numerous Christmas-themed ornaments. Warm, cozy lighting reflected off the wooden flooring, and a maze of conveyor belts were installed all over the place. This place is... a factory? What? And what are those things? Those little children like... Bert! The little figures Heathcliff indicated didn't exactly look like children. They all froze for a moment before turning around in our direction. They weren't humans, that's for sure. Clothes. What happened to this? Oi, Clockhead. Something's coming this way. A small but larger than the others around it figure scurried over and stood before us. Lady Don Quixote, finally graced us with her presence once again, Ome. Ome or Ome? And then just as you did before, poof, appear from the most unexpected places again, Ome. I don't know if it's Ome or Ome. I don't understand what the joke here is, what the pun is. Evil little buff elf creatures, god. Who's this Don Quixote? Huh, the one who shall grant us the wonderful gifts indeed. He rubbed his hands, or what I assumed to be hands, together, looked up at us, and started. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Ome. You must be Lady Don Quixote's friend, Omes. My name is Dodoru, a gnome who works at this gift factory, Ome. And why, of course, I bake gifts here, Ome. A gnome? Indeed, a gnome! Not elves. Was that supposed to be obvious? What are gnomes, anyway? Though they're not humans, right? Yes, these fellows are not humans. They're gnomes. Yes, of course. Not human gnomes. Okay, so it's supposed to be everything is like gnome. Human gnome. Whom. Didn't think non-humans were allowed in the city. They're not abnormalities or distortions either. They're something else. Yeah, they're just monsters of the city, it seems like, which is very strange. I guess Rudolph might be based on Sandolph, then. Maybe, no, but we got egos from Sandolph, though, so it has to be an Avno. Maybe we're going to see something else entirely, and Sandolph is unrelated. The city! I knew it! Well, what's the matter if they're not humans? What truly matters is the heart with which they commit themselves, the work, that is! Of course. You were absolutely right, Maladum. They're gnomifying every word. Yeah, I figured that part out. But the pun really only works if it ends with an N. Didn't that Dodoru gnome say something weird about the city just now? So that wasn't just me, huh? Ome. Yeah, even seeing him. Dodoru, cut in our conversation. Do the friends of Lady Don Quixote wish for any present gnomes? We have fancy clothes and powerful weapon gnomes, or delicious cookie gnomes. Fancy clothes. So you really have them. Looks like we've got a winner, Well, then please, this way. The gnome said something about introducing us to the reception hall, and led us to a certain room in a scurrying gait. This seems more like a storage space than a reception hall. Oh, behold, there is a warm fireplace and a table in this cozy place. What more could thee possibly ask for? And we have some delicious refreshments ready for you as well, Ome. Please wait a moment, and I'll be right back with the gifts you want, Ome. The gnome bowed, opened the door, and scuttled out of the room. Our reception hall is usually this barren? I'm trying to look in the background, see if there's anything scary going on here. Never been to one before, so I have no idea if this was what they were supposed to look like. I had to ask. Especially because it was starting to get pretty obvious, even with my rather limited experience, that there was something off about this whole situation. Don't trust these. Rumor this kind of decor has been catching on in recent years. Yeah, I've heard that too. Apparently it's popular for some blokes to just deliberately leave their stuff lying around in some half-finished looking buildings. Oh wait, Dawn isn't just making this up? Dawn actually has a reason to think this is like normal? Is that what this is? Still thy heart, Manager Squire. I shall personally be responsible for this expedition to claim ourselves shiny gift. If push comes to shove, I could nab some of these. Saw them packing some shiny, expensive-looking stuff over there. No thievery this time, Heathcliff. Has the incident with the hair coupons already left thy mind? Blimey. Fine. They seem like jolly fellows. They are jolly old fellows, that's true. Heathcliff was as foul-mouthed as always, but it was evident from his relaxing expression that his anxiety was starting to ease. Maybe the fact that we're here, about to find what we're looking for, was a comforting thought. Heathcliff, is that important that you dressed well for this occasion? Huh? Oh, yeah. A rather delicate but gently smoldering hearth. Calm, silent air. Perfect atmosphere to bring up uncomfortable subjects for some honest heart-to-heart. Or is someone waiting for you there? Someone you'd like to dress up for? Yeah. Kathy moment. Well, I suppose you're not completely wrong. Oh, a secret, is it? Don Quixote excitedly and loudly dragged her chair up close to Heathcliff. I have to go back as a successful man, as someone of great worth, so that they'll know that I've changed, that I'm no longer That weightless brigand, Heathcliff. That's why I have to dress posh when I return, to appear like a man of quality. Ugh. Hath someone stoked the fire of envy in thy stomach? Is this about revenge? Like Ishmael. I wonder if Heathcliff could have anything to do with revenge. You know, just taking a look at, you know, what the scratch marks in his bat. I don't know. What are the odds? What are the odds? Revenge. Heathcliff leaned back on his chair. It creaked as he rocked gently back and forth. There was a look of deep introspection on his face, which was, if my memory serves me right, a well, I suppose you would call it revenge, but what I really want to do is make her regret. Yeah, that's what this is. Regret not choosing me, so that she will feel that regret down to the deepest reaches of her heart. I'll prove to Kathy that there was no better man for her than I. Kathy. Heathcliff's eyes tremble a little as he speaks her name. He's mentioned that name before. His eyes trembled then, too. This Kathy must be someone pretty important to you. Of course, bloody important. I don't know, from what I know from Wuthering Heights, the Heathcliff is actually Heathcliff's son theory doesn't exactly seem to is kind of falling apart. Essentially. I don't know enough, that's the thing. But I do know in the book, like, is like Kathy, like, it's like, I feel like it's some guy named, like, Eric or something, like, there's some guy with, like, a normal type name that Kathy instead goes with. Heathcliff, of course, leaves. It's a long and complicated story. Aha! Allow mine intuition to speak for thee. This Kathy must be thy lover, is she not? But wait, is that what she is to you? Huh? No, it's nothing like that. Okay, maybe a little bit. He's stuttering like Sinclair on a bad day. While his disposition was as brusque as always, I could clearly see that he couldn't stop himself from smiling from a mere mention of her name. And that gave me more than enough answers. Every sinner had a reason for joining Limbus Company, so... maybe Heathcliff joined Limbus Company for this Kathy person. Make you wonder what kind of a person she might be, though. Someone that special, that precious to Heathcliff. Don't be so overdramatic. That ain't my obligations as manager, but I'm starting to think that I want to help you out, so that you could be the best man you can be for her. Indeed, we shall all be people of quality. Good song. Oh boy. The light's been turned on, there's a scary looking door there. That's like a gnome door, I think. It looks like that's like a small door for the gnomes. I heard a door open in that very moment. It wasn't the reception hall door. That one was made of wood and wouldn't make the sound that I just heard. So that was the reception hall door. Oh, no, this actually, no, the door's a normal size, potentially. This is the actual door, I think. Or is there two doors here? Is it a big door and there's a small door for the gnomes, the big door for the humans? Something like that, potentially? Might be. This sound came from over there, away from us, from a dark corner of the room. Then we heard sounds of metal scraping against wood. It was accompanied by a howling blizzard. Yep, there's blood in the ground. There's a... not great signs over there. So those were sleigh marks. Huh. The huge sleigh made its way across the wooden floor, on the marks that were already on the floorboards. It was flanked by several gnomes. The sleigh was red, and the sacks on it were either black or red. But they were all mistletoe hammer, saw blade that has like a little ribbon on it, and then these little creatures. Next batch of ingredients right here, Fairy gnome, leafy gnome, my back We've got to think about the looks on our friends' faces when they open their present domes. All is worth it, of course. Well worth it. Shadowy gnome, yeah. Here, the gaggle of gnomes, who were walking in our direction as they chatted gnomes. Quit chit-chatting and help us out, We've got a lot to process, Besides, we brought some live ones this time, I think I saw some sacks on... like, something was trying to escape. Oh? Is that going to be the people, the silhouettes? Is it going to be like Sun and Lestier? Grab your weapon, girl. What is the matter with me? These fellows are but hardworking. Hello? Is there someone out there? Please help! Get me out of here! Fresh home! No. Okay, I wanted to see if we'd get a little sneak peek. This seems pretty like, this kind of like freak out type thing does seem very Lesty-like potentially. But they're human homes. Did Manager Dodoru bring them in home? How'd he manage to bring in humans so fresh home? So, all along, the factory has been... Oh boy. I could hear a familiar voice coming from the other door in the room as Don Quixote stood there flabbergasted. Dodoru's done a blunder, That sleigh wasn't supposed to be coming here, Don't you worry, Just a little game between us gnomes. That's your excuse? Master Dodoru. Dodoru's listening, Tell me the contents of those sacks. But raw material for presents, of course, Besides Lady Don Quixote, Dodoru's prepared those fancy clothes for you and your friends to wear, Why don't we head right out to where... What raw materials are they? Well, that made me forget that this event isn't dubbed. Well, yeah. It makes it a little, like... It's a little unfortunate, that's for sure. It's fine. I honestly, I'm not too bothered by it. I do kind of wish we were getting, like, the insane Don Quixote pronunciation type stuff for, like, the red sack and whatnot, because I'm sure it would have been funny, but, oh well. The door was tired of liomes, humans like you. You lot, what did I say about using this storage space I told you this one was off-limit What, are you gonna deliver nothing but disappointment to our neighbor Even now they await gifts from our... gnome! And I already told them the factory director to look forward to this batch What was I thinking? This was absolutely not worth it. I know what you're thinking, Jason. We've got to get out of here, yeah? Yeah. Sitting here and feeling sorry for myself won't do anything. It never did. Got it. But Dawn wants to save the people, of course, so, you know, there's going to be a little bit of an unfortunate situation. Grab your tool, Fresh, locally produced materials coming up, Right then, let's crack on, you little... There.
유감없는 싸움을 기대하겠소.
What is this song? Is this like some like WiiWare type like licensed game menu theme music? No, I didn't cracking me up to them. Poise loss on hit? What? Poise count loss on hit. It's actually crazy. Wait, you don't... I don't know what you mean. Yeah, this song's awesome. Also, it is a 4-wave fight, and we do need to 10 turn this in order to actually get, the bonus, the EX clear, so, Oh, it is a normal fight. I was expecting to be able to do things. What are these guys going for, though? Fairy Gnome, Leafy Gnome, of course. Every surviving enemy gives this unit a plus 2% chance to flip heads. That's funny. When there are more surviving enemies than their surviving allies, gain haste and attack fire next turn. Poise count. Used to be on critical hit, lose poise count along the end of the turn. Yeah, that's what it says here. Poise should be the same, unless I'm misinterpreting the thing. Yeah, these guys have poise stuff, of course. Well, I think the song's looped now. This is not a good turn one, though. That's for sure. Kind of what I get for using this team, but, like, it's funny. They're weak to Pierce. That checks out, yeah. We'll go for the empty res. Maybe it'll help. We need to get some good luck, though. Okay, we won a clash. That's good. Oh, we lose with Dawn, though. That's unfortunate. Well, we're gonna gain skill slots, we're gonna gain sanity. It'll be pretty beneficial in the long run, I think. We're to do that for me, gotta test that out. Oh, you have staggered Dawn. That is really bad for us. That is really bad for us. Okay. Not really doing. Okay, but then the music is only for the first phase. Why do they keep on doing this? So lame. They're getting crits, god. Well, at least we're gonna get below half HP so we can start using the She gimmicks a little bit better. Struggling though, yeah. Sanity's not looking great. We'll try evading that one then. Shh, god. Hello everyone. Hello there. We are currently, fighting gnomes, apparently. That's what these are supposed to be, according to the game. Very strange looking gnomes, that's for sure. And I probably should have actually used good units instead of running She, but, funny. We're kind of getting owned. This is a 4-wave fight. And things are not going great so far. We're actually building up a lot of poise count on Heathcliff, though, because, funny. We need to not die with Heathcliff, though, which might be a little hard to do. Speaking of bugs, apparently bugs some of the infinite skills bug on Railway appears to be discovered with Starbuck Yi song. Oh. Interesting. I have not heard about that. Did the Christmas event out? Yep, just released a couple. How long has it been? It released an hour ago, yeah. I'm taking my time with it. More of the same. Cherry Gnome, 2 Leafy Gnomes. The music is insane for this fight. I love it so much. And bad Clash lose. Very unfortunate stuff. Okay, we won that one, though. We're actually starting to build up sanity, because we're winning clashes somewhat now. So that'll be really good. Also, that's a little bit of haste on Dawn, by the way. Dawn is 16 haste, by the way. This was a really funny idea to bring. That's for sure, for the haste stacking, if nothing else. I'll have to redo this later to get the EX stuff, but I don't particularly need the lunacy, so I'm not too concerned about it. I'll get it sooner or later. I'll do it when I'm, like, grinding for, you know, presents. Do that. Go for a lot of weak attacks. That'll be good. Dawn's in max sanity now. Excellent. Dawn's gonna kind of, like, ravage through these creatures. Thought on Twitter is the skill 2 to go infinitely. Oh, wait, is it? Are you sure it's a bug and it's not just the animation someone did? Because someone did, like, a edit type thing that looked similar to that. You might have been bamboozled if it's the video I'm thinking of. Okay, Shady Gnome, are you the same thing? Just kind of scarier, I assume? You've got more HP, if nothing else. They've all got the same resistances. We should probably minimize it. We should probably not use Finishing Strike until we need to. Although I don't really want to counter, so, body sack time? Normal body sack, because we need to do the event to get the fast rise one. Star Saying is a super fun idea. The skill 2 is just so funny. Especially in mirror dungeons where you can get some, like, really good poise stuff going. Instant stagger there, that's good. Probably means this guy. Oh, this guy's stagger resist is a little further away, so I don't know if it'll be instant stagger here. But you're tagging him again, so it's still fine. Yeah, if Star Saying could have Blade Lineage combat passive, it would be a little busted. So it makes enough sense that they gave a unit like that to Yi Song. It's like, it's only a matter of time before we get some sort of stupid bleed potency, like, ID that has, like, no burn count, and they're gonna give it to Hong Lu, so you can't get the Hong Lu passive on that identity. Wonder if they're actually gonna start doing stuff like that. There's not a lot of passives that are, like, that significantly notable for stuff, but, like, those are some of them that actually are. If it's the Fairy Gentleman in the Air or Bamboos, yeah. If you watch the entire thing, you notice that it transitions to the Black Silence fight from Ruina, like, halfway through. Yeah, it's a funny video. Does a pretty good job of, like, imitating the actual, like, Limbus style, but enough is offered to be notable. Oh, here's Dodoru. What's he doing?
좋지는 않구려.
Just the same thing, effectively, it seems. Local raw materialomes. Gain poise. More damage on crit. More damage on crit. Does not consume poise count. Do opponent's blunt damage equal to poise. Okay. And if we don't break through his entire shield, he gains attack power up next turn. Well, I don't really want that happening, do we? We can go for some flashing strikes here. If it blows up, so be it, you know? He's also got a bunch of power up this turn, thanks to body sack. Doesn't mean placed over the fight, lol. Fair enough. You're not gonna get countered and die, right? Okay, just making sure. God. It was a very likely possibility there that Dawn was just gonna get countered and die. I forgot to check for what counter these guys are going for, and I probably should have egoed in the case. Also, Dawn is getting 25 haste next turn. He's using so many skill 2s that it's kind of stupid. Okay, you're doing some self-damage here, but it's also, you know, mass attack, so funny. One of the few times you can actually get the mass attack going there. Started LobCorp, you're loving the aesthetic. Yeah, LobCorp's a lot of fun. It's a very janky game. It's the kind of game where I would suggest potentially looking into some mods for if you have, like, trouble running it. I don't think mods are necessary, though. If you ever end up having performance issues or something, then, you know, consider looking into some mods. There's some stuff that helps with that. Okay, we didn't quite get the EX clear there, but that's fine. We did it with the She identity, so, you know, not bad. Youngest Dawn, true. Those were some fierce sods. The fault lies with me. The fault lies with you, Don Quixote. You got eaten alive by weird Christmas gnomes. A lot of mods are useful. Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think they're necessary, though. A lot of them that fix minor bugs and stuff kind of take away from the game, I feel like, from my experience. But, you know, the optimization mod is really good if you do start having trouble. But if not, you don't really need to do it. Yeah, I think that he would run. I mean, he's probably just one of many, that's the thing. He's probably not that special, all things considered. He's probably like a mid-level enemy for these guys. Light of confidence completely faded from Don Quixote's face. So did her enthusiastic voice. No, I should have thought this plan through. Well, if we were to find someone to blame, the biggest fault would lie with me, the manager. Maybe I should have turned around the moment I sensed that something was off, as Don Quixote undid the knot tying the sack. I was afraid that this was what we'd find inside the sack. The body sack, if you will. There were a total of 7 or so people in the sack, but they were all missing a few limbs. They were barely breathing, and some of them had already perished. I've never seen their style of clothing before. It looks like we're pretty far from where we were. Is this like District 25, potentially? I've seen similarly worn and torn clothing in the back streets, but the clothing they wore was of materials and styles that I had not seen before. The back door must have sent us pretty far. Faust did tell me that each district within the city had different cultures and such, so... Doesn't really matter, does it? They'll all die soon, and it's not like you can turn the clock for them. Let's just get back to the bus. Hark! Get a hold of thyself! Art thou the one who requested our help earlier? Oh, it's just a child. Oh, God. Not a returning character at all. It is genuinely just a child. That makes sense. How are you? Faust child. Have we gotten to the path? Is this, you know, from Faust's past when she got kidnapped by... Faust's past when she got kidnapped by a bunch of, you know, Christmassy gnomes and they were saved by the sinners from the future? Could be. I highly doubt it. You know, you never know. Oh, and we can claim our rewards now. Yippee. Nothing big, of course. We're gonna need quite a few bags before we can get any of the notable things, but you know, it's a start. I get 100. You get 100 per mirror dungeon run, so we'll probably just grind mirror dungeons for these. That'll certainly be something. Alright. Next up, monstrous gifts. What popped out from the sack we found atop the sleigh were several mutilated bodies and a small child. Looked like they were kidnapped here. I wonder what happened. Yeah, I sure wonder what happened too. Oh! Oh, this is funny. I see what's going on here. They're gonna notice the fact that Claire and Merceau's silhouette. I think so. I'd recognize that like the pose on the right anywhere, and left is probably Sinclair. It looks like all the other sinners are coming into help now.
모두에게 평등하게.
돌격점 형.
아이,
수금할 시간이야.
그래.
So we'll set up this random team. See, it's gonna be something like, oh, where did Dawn, Heathcliff, and Dante go? Oh, this door is open. We gotta get them.
단테, 이번에는
That's my
누굴
guess.
베어버리면 되는 거야?
House ID? That's a child. I don't think we're getting a child ID. Oh, so all weird looking. I guess you're not from the village. The child was dressed in torn and faded clothing. From the way she looked at us, I could tell that she found us rather fascinating. She soon woke up from her momentary shock. Anyway, thank you for saving me. My name's Crayon. Interesting. And, huh? The clockwork teeth. The kid pointed at me and backed away into... Oh, they're from the outskirts. This isn't the city. Yeah, no. Clockwork teeth was something from the outskirts. We're outside of it now. So it was mentioned very briefly and being defeated in, like, the Blue Reverb... Or the Church of Gears Blue Reverb fight in Ruina. Yeah, it was, like, so was, like... Oh, God. It's actually really scary to think about now, because you know who else was in the outskirts at some point? That's right. Demi. Funny is that it is interesting how many white-haired, potentially wing-experimented children we know from the outskirts. Because that's also what happened to, Argalia and Angelica, yeah? They were, you know, researched on outskirts, somehow got into the city. We don't know the specifics of them, but, you know, they've, you know, Angelica had, like, nightmares from it. And back is Limbus, real. Enoch is very strange, like, there's actually a lot of very strange stuff going on. But keep in mind that, like, the biblical Enoch is, I believe, the son of Cain. Very sad. I mean... My name's Dante. A head, but I heard the clockwork teeth look like... What? Guess I also heard that they don't show up this high. High? Are we in the sky? Yeah, Enoch and Lisa were also experiencing deserts. Yeah. They weren't white-haired, though. I don't think I did English. Poor child. Same height as Dawn. Monster, this is none other than our very own manager, Squire. Thanks for the intro, I guess. But I can't hear anything but the... Looks like the other people who were dragged here with me weren't so lucky, though. But Moon just has forgot to add one thing to the event, a button to collect all available rewards at once. But you know, the joy of collecting everything individually, you can't miss out on that. Ain't helping the child Dawn allegations. People can be short, you know. Dawn's like 50-something in the book. Dawn is not a child. Her looks at Amelia Corpse with a despondent look in her face. Don Quixote casts a sympathetic gaze. So they were all neighbors from thy village. Yeah, but our village will soon send the hunters to save us. Santa Hunter ID? Are we gonna see a Santa Hunter? Is that who the other figure is? And are we gonna get a Santa Hunter ID next week? Hunters? I wasn't sure what exactly she was talking about. So I was about to ask her what she meant. Booked on is like 70 a lot. Yeah, I know, it's some like old man type. Suddenly began to fill with gas of unknown... What's this now? Oh, quick, hold thy breathing! An odd plume of gas. Its hue red and green begins to fill the room. Christmas spirit gas? This gas! It's the same gas from when I was kidnapped. The three of them, including Crayon, passed out and slumped to the floor. Dante's immune, of course. Yeah, something like this has happened before. When we accidentally walked into a toxic death gas trap, which killed everyone. Looks like this gas only knocked them out, though. That's a relief, at least. Guess I should consider myself lucky that my clockwork head isn't affected by these things. Why is Dante coughing? They're just silly like that. Freak. I gotta hide. As soon as I hit myself in the corner, a crowd of gnomes rushed to the same door Dodoru came in from. Do they just squeak when they walk? Are they little squeaky toys? Gas mask. That's what those are. They're like shy guys. They use sleeping gas on us. Oh man, is that all that's left of Manager Dodoru? All that talk of snagging 3 top-notch raw materials, and now look at him, a pile of meat, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, all accounted for, I suppose, They're all fast asleep with the sleepy powder, so don't you all worry yourselves about how to move the good ohms. They picked up Don Quixote, Heathcliff, and Crayon one by one, and loaded them onto the sleigh. The gnomes are strong, yeah. They're little horrifying outskirts creatures, it makes sense. With that, they left, closing the door behind them. And through it all, I couldn't do anything but watch. Okay, so Dante's gonna go back, grab all the other sinners, and try and save them. And that's the plot. Are we gonna be locked out of Heathcliff and Dawn this entire, like, mid-canto until, like, the boss or something, potentially? Right, looks like this is my time to shine. I'll rescue the 3 of them. What do you think you can do, Dante? You're gonna beat them up? You're gonna, like, go, like, full, like, Yakuza style, start, like, brawling with them? Maybe you could, that's true. They're jolly ass creatures. Yeah, all their power comes from Christmas spirit. No way. I should have listened to when Ishmael offered to teach me self-defense. What do I do? This harsh truth dawns on me every time we face total annihilation. The truth that, on my own, I am completely useless. Hear you, Dante. True. If they were with us, I could at least bring them back. But none of the sinners are here with me. What good am I without them? It's a miracle that I managed to survive this far. Miracle? What miracle? Come on, get a hold of yourself. Miracle in District 20. Great. Now I'm hearing things. You're not hearing things, Manager. We're really here. You even know what a mess it was up there when we realized that the 3 of you just vanished into thin air. I bolted up and looked towards the voice. There I saw another door. And from it, the rest of the sinners appeared, one by one. Guys. Oh boy, looks like I forgot about that slightly spoiled ingredient. And... I will inquire about this. Good to see. I actually forgot to check the levels of my IDs, but I think some of these guys are not going to be well leveled. Whoops. Okay, some of them are at least. You're 30, you're 30, you're 35, but these 3 are 40. That's good. Okay, it's only 2 waves this time, but there's a lot more of them. We might we might be facing some sanity troubles as well. Oh well. That's how it goes. At least they're not like the bongies in which they're just constantly reducing our sanity. That's good at least. Brandis Faust's child real? Oh, Bookhouse as a child, right? Huh. I mean, I don't think that's the case, and I don't think that's, you know, Faust's child, but that is something to keep in mind. Bookhouse, I think, has a child. I still haven't read Faust, but I think that's something that happens. Yeah, we gotta be able to punt these gnomes real hard. That's the plan. We gotta spread holiday spirit to these guys as best as we can. Ideally within 10 turns, but I'm not worried about the turn. I'm not worried about EX clearing the most, because I can just come back later for it. Okay, they're not really giving us a lot of chances to actually build up sanity here. We need more pride for holidays, so you got this, actually. Father/mother. Quite a few of them are. Maybe not like every, but like... Let's see, going through it, the 5 cantos we've gone through do not have any children, but I know Heathcliff does in the book. I know Ryoshu does. I know Otis does, and I think Faust does. I'm pretty sure those are the ones with children.
배는 맛은 있는 편이 좋은데.
So it's not. It's most of the sinners we haven't had the cantos for yet, which is interesting. I also might be forgetting something. I'm not the expert on the books. Not yet, at least. Maybe one day. Sloth resonance time, nice. We'll do a little bit of that. Yeah, staggered that guy. We're winning clashes pretty consistently now. There's not really much to worry about. That's good. A couple bad clashes here and there, but it's fine. Gregor has a sister. Yeah. I was just talking about, like, children for the sake of that. Gregor's got a sister. Honglu's got a brother, potentially. More siblings. I don't know much about Dream Above Red Chamber. Of course, we know his brother, though. Some other random stuff like that, I'm sure.
역시 모르네.
제대로 꽂혔는데.
Or if she's actually put into the story. Find it in the interview. King Hermit said to Gregor about his arm. Well, I think you're kind of forgetting something really important about Canto 1, and that's the fact that Gregor says that Yuri reminds him of his sister. Yeah, his last name is Samsa. A little bit different than Sama, but yeah. I think Gregor's sister is not doing too well. Probably like the Yuri prelude, all things considered, she's probably already dead, but we'll have to see. Maybe she's still alive. Maybe she's been subject to horrible months now, and it's gonna be awful because that's the kind of accent and some thread. Touching reunion. He and Don Quixote were both out cold, but I managed to survive thanks to the sinners who came for me. But I don't see the two unconscious sinners anywhere. I still can't deploy those two. Then this team seems to be working well enough. I'll keep up with it. Maybe she's a member of Demian group. I think that's a little hopeful. Knowing Gregor is one of those sinners who's really not allowed to be happy, it seems like. So I don't know. You want them to take damage, yet they do so good it's not taking damage. Yep. We'll eventually get better Shi units that start with low HP, and then it'll be really peak. Thanks, everyone. How did you find me? We entered via the back door. Your signals were no longer detected from within the bus's premises. Then every sinner was immediately summoned from their respective rooms for the search. And so after our break started, Dante, let's not do anything like this again. Even if you are the executive manager, rogue behavior such as this poses too great a risk. Please be wary of that. I'm sorry. So how did you guys find us? Music? I always forget this actually plays in normal dungeons too. It's just a mirror dungeon song in my brain. Easiness. Considering the nature of our circumstances, I conjectured that there was aught that he had to do before our arrival at T-Corp. On the day in which the backdoor volatility siren echoed, Don Quixote made a relatively delayed return to the back door. And, come the next day, she requested from me and Miss Faust an encyclopedia of common symbols used in the city. Okay. She wasn't very, stealthy about it, as expected. Yes. So Faust lent her a few volumes. Ever since receiving the volumes, Miss Don Quixote on account of my conditions. Poor Yi-song, as seasick as ever. I do recollect that the following words were repeatedly uttered. Cosplay, costume, sack. In summation, I surmised that Miss Don Quixote witnessed a series of symbols that caught her attention when the siren blared. And Faust was aware of the door on which those symbols were drawn. Based on that information, the sinners were able to find their way here. Need to read some of the books again for the sinners, and the ones you haven't read so far. Yeah, same here. There's a lot of stuff that you can actually figure out from the books. A lot of it's very heavily based on the books. A lot of it seems like newish, of course. Like there's a lot of like mixed stuff in there. And like I guess a general thing about the books is all of them have pretty like grim endings, I'm fairly certain. Like of the ones I've read, have any of them had like at least decent endings, if anything? Not really. I think the best ending is like the Odyssey, or like Crime and Punishment, where it's like said at some point or something that like Rodion like eventually like gets out of like out of jail and like, you know, has a happy life or something. That might, I don't even know if that happens. I don't know. We'll have to hope it doesn't follow that same ending. Engage several entities of the corridor on our path to the door. Yeah, Herman is Kafka's father. Heard about that. I think we only ran into weaklings, though. Sinclair causes the start of World War I and never sees Damien again. Sinclair does not have a good ending. He ends as he's fighting in World War I. He sees Damien one last, and now he's, you know, fighting in the war. So who knows if he survives? Like, not a great ending. I think we only ran into weaklings, though. An irreversible death of a sinner could have occurred in the process. You understand? Engaging hostile forces in your... We could have been lost forever in some corner of the corridors as bodies, never to be revived nor retrieved. Please comprehend the weight of your responsibilities and the risks your independent action carries. And then she gets closer. Alright, you must survive, Executive Manager. Her gaze was cold and ruthless. How did Sinclair start World War I? Because he's cursed because of Markadamian or something, or Markakane or something, I think. I need to reread the book. I think, you know, it's something like that. Your survival was a lucky concern, Dante. The sequence of those symbols are not supposed to be interpreted in such a haphazard manner. I'm really sorry. I don't know what else to say. EQ. Now, something Don Quixote? Yeah, Don Quixote, Heathcliff. Where'd the pair run off to? Oh, that's... But I think it is something related to the Kane stuff. Yeah. Margaret Kane is very wacky, very powerful. I told him exactly as the events transpired. Seriously, how do you even manage to survive this far? Alright, Manager Bud. I'm sure you've heard enough from the others, so I won't say more. But where exactly are we? Hey, which district is this? This cold. We must be somewhere in one of the northern districts of the city. Or... We are not in the city. Yeah, Faust knows the outskirts, doesn't she? Being, you know, that we are not in the city. Those intelligent organisms called gnomes are part of a species surviving in the outskirts. Commonly known as monsters of the outskirts. Oh, I thought she was about to say gnomes of the outskirts. Like, there was like a lot of gnomes in the outskirts or something. No, they're just a type of monster in the outskirts. Ugh, monster. So we're in a completely different region of the outskirts. I would have liked to explore the area if the circumstances permitted. Look, this structure seems to have been custom built for the gnomes, considering how small everything is here. If this is the outskirts, we can go back, right? As long as the door we entered through remains open, yes. It is open, for now. What if it closes? Then an unexpected journey begins. We'll have to trek the distance from the outskirts back to the city, which will be a significant endeavor in both time and effort. Like, I'd be down. I honestly think we're Paradisia or something. Almost 12-year time zones, am I right? Where's this sound coming from, right? Oh, I struck gold, Get your tool, Dante, come here to the back of the line. The door slammed open, and gnomes began flooding into the room. We prepared ourselves for battle. No, that makes sense. I thought you were saying it was almost midnight. Yeah, that makes sense too. Shadowy gnomes. Turn you into furniture gnomes. I don't want to be a furniture gnome, honestly. But, you know, to each their own. Yeah. I mean, it's 12 nodes, right? So that's including the story nodes. So, like, we're already through, like, a decent chunk of it, right? Because that's for, like, the EX clear, and you just EX clear other nodes by just that. You're failing as usual. It happens. You can just block or something. Maybe it'll be fine. Oh, it's 1:30 for you. Okay. Yeah, so even worse than midnight. Makes sense. I'm lucky enough that it's only 10:30 p.m. for me, but
생리네요? 저기 저 개체부터 처리하면 편할 것 같아요.
관리자가 아니라 지휘관이
배는
It's-
맛은 있는 편이 좋은데.
I mean, it's still late if content goes on for too long. Like for the final part of Kanto 5, it took me like 6 hours to get through that. So it was up to like 3. That was pretty silly. But like, how am I supposed to, go to bed when, gaming?
아마 그 공격이 약점이었겠죠?
So what if I have a problem? That's just how it is.
좋아, 계속 집중하지.
And that thing actually died to burn. How nice.
사고할 수는 없지만 여러분은
We'll
하실
see how
수
much
있을
we can
거예요.
do here. Kill you guys this turn pretty safely. Gain some sanity in the process, though. That's the important part. Hopefully. I guess that guy's defending, so, not as much sanity as if we were to actually clash, but you don't really need the sanity either. Okay. 1 HP on that guy. Almost died to the bleed. Wave 2 time. No holiday yet. We need a little more pride. We can get the pride next turn. That'll be good. We'll actually be able to see it in action. The Otis one, of course, since we're not seeing the Heathcliff one today. It'll be a little bit of a grind away. We love the grind, after all.
약점은 파악했어. 놀라운 명령이네요. 적을 완벽히 파악하고 있으신 거군요.
현명한 판단이요.
상황이 좋다고 할 수는 없지만
We should be able to pretty effectively finish off all these guys here. But first up, we gotta go for a little bit of a holiday. They're weak to wrath, after all. Very fittingly. The game fight done it started at 1:30 and ended at like 7. Yeah. Sounds about right. Here's the week, though.
없는 분노를 담아 이 선물을 퍼부어 주도록 하지.
Very silly stuff. And a little bit insanity healing for eyes is pretty good. Unfortunately, it's pretty pricey, all things considered, requiring 4 different resources and not being that strong beyond the sanity stuff. So, also, it's a sloth damage. It was a sloth damage up because we had the highest sloth presence this turn. Makes enough sense. It's only a single damage up, so it's not that great. I think it becomes 2 after. Railway 2 is similar to it. Oh, yeah. I did not do Railway in a single playthrough. I got through half of it, and then the next day I did the other half. Didn't feel like it was the kind of thing that... I knew that if I stayed up late for Railway, my gameplay would drop significantly, as far as, my sanity and my intelligence, thanks to my tiredness. I can see there's similarities with humans, but they certainly aren't humans. Except for their... I don't even know if they should be categorized as monsters. The definition is often arbitrary. Some may call them monsters, yet others may call them members of a different, sentient race. I appreciate your analysis, but we should probably get moving. We still don't know where Heathcliff and Don Quixote are. You always say the right things at the right time, Executive Manager. Exploring the outskirts area will carry higher risks than our usual operation grounds. To ensure the manager's safety, we must first establish a more structured plan. Boom. We've been getting a lot of SP egos recently. Feels like they're trying to pull the rug out from under Fluid Sac, try and make it less powerful by having other things have similar effects, but it's nothing quite like Fluid Sac because Fluid Sac has both HP and SP, which is why it's so stupid. Well, I said the easiest answer would be to leave the 2 of them, but the easiest path isn't always the right one. Ishmael kicked open the door the gnomes rushed in from. Come on, let's go. We'll protect the manager and save Heathcliff and Don Quixote. Something really SP expensive is coming. I guess more VOVs, and just as we get more VOVs, there's gonna be more stuff that takes a lot of sanity, so it makes sense. No one can beat Fluid Sac ever. Yeah. Can we find them? Oh, there's 3 extraction tickets too. Yippee, hooray. How many? Is there 10 extraction tickets in total, if I had to guess? 3. There's 3 more, so 6. 3 more, so 9. 12? In bet. Yes, they must have been taken to a different sector of the factory. Fran must be there with them. We have to find them quick. Do we see anything fancy over to the right? Doesn't look like it. It's really funny though to see the silhouettes of Merceau and Sinclair just kind of standing in the doorway. Alright, I need more encapsulin. You know how this goes. I'm using the lunacy one because I could never bring myself to actually use a box. I've been stockpiling them for so long. I could never do it.
이번에는 누굴 베어버리는
Ignore that I
거야?
used to do it for like Health Chicken and Canto 4, but I've changed my ways.
최후의 혈구 하나만
Got the
남아
banger
있다면
song again.
돌격합니다.
어떻게라도 보존될 테니.
Does the song like play on loop when you're like awake at like 2 a.m. I think, and like trying to still get things done, and then like this is just like the mood, you know.
걱정 마시오. 최후의 혈구 하나만 남아
Like the you losing grasp of your sanity type song, which is pretty perfect for these gnomes. Definitely an interesting depiction of gnomes, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is like some sort of historical basis for this like depiction of gnomes. Because there's just so much variety with stuff like somewhat common like creatures, and how like there's so many different cultures that have depicted like similar things in such different ways. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are, you know, gnomes that are just, you know, shadowy things. Of course, the obvious thing is they're off-brand elves. That's why they're gnomes above all else, but there might be more to it.
공격 능력 평가? 양호.
어우, 제대로 꽂혔는데.
완전한 침묵.
유효타 좋아. 계속 집중하지. 다소 유리하구려.
Okay, just you two left now. We'll be able to finish you off. Lickety split. And continue on to the second wave. It's still only a 2-wave fight, so it won't be too bad. We remember? We remember. Nice. Wave 2, more of the same, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like it. I wasn't really expecting anything different, so, you know, yeah, that works.
머저리다.
Ooh, losing with Swash. That's very rude. There we go. You didn't fully lose with it, at least.
대연의 침.
Although it sure does mean that you did not inflict your slash fragility there, but it means you inflicted here. So, you know, it shouldn't matter too much. The target's dead anyways. You were doubling up on the same guy, so that slash fragility would have meant nothing anyways. It was very dead.
좋은 판단은 아니었어. 아, 뭐 머리 좀 식히고 다시 가보자고.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠. 사냥이 성공적이었네요.
They're getting a Houston attack power up.
사냥을 끝내러 가보죠.
Yeah, because there's more of us alive than there are of them.
내가 봐주마.
They're strengthening as they lose their own, as some of their own kin falls. They gain power. They probably consume their flesh or something, if I had to guess, given what these guys are. I feel like gnomes eating other gnomes is a very gnomish type thing to do. Nomenclature. God.
역시 모르네.
Can't help but just like bang on to like the music. Like it goes so hard. Okay, I'm not quite all dead yet. The music changes here.
서둘러 끝내보자.
Yeah, because the game's rude. Changes the Canto 2 Abner music,
다음.
as it always does. So sad. Like there doesn't need to be multiple phases to every song. You could just choose like make it so that music just plays for these guys no matter what.
적의 모든 급소를 파악했거든요.
I don't know. It's a pretty minor gripe, I suppose. Find the pair again. Seems like it's probably more non-story stuff then. I guess it is interesting if 5EX cleared, so the stories do not count for this. No, they do. They do. Oh, and my number's off because I didn't DX clear these. That's right. I'll have to deal with that sooner or later. Yeah, no, it doesn't count it. This boss goes to Mirror and you absolutely kill a lot of runs. Ooh, exciting stuff.
이번 지휘도 부탁드립니다.
Papa Bongi was also kind of cracked in the Hell's Chicken dungeon, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if it gets toned down when it inevitably gets there.
최후의 혈구 하나만 남아 있다면 생명은
I mean, Papa Bongi is still somewhat like it's a relatively threatening fight simply because it can kill you pretty hard if you aren't like paying attention
그 객체는
in Mirror Dungeon.
다른
But, like,
방법을
you know.
저질하지 않았을까요?
Excited to see just what horrifying abomination is awaiting us when we reach the end. It's gonna be so awesome. Oh, and these guys have power now. Great. We really needed to get a little bit more rolling first turn. That's fine. They still have a chance to get tails. That's got to be what we like rely on for a lot of us because we need sanity.
적합한 관리법이었어요. 다행이에요.
Yeah, we're taking some damage, but we should be able to shake it off relatively easily. We're gamers. We game. It's what we do.
방금은 전략이 승리.
Yeah, they're gaining more there. And yeah, I should be able to get that. Can't get the pride this turn. Okay, that's fine. We can't holiday next turn then because of that. Like in the event he's not that strong, but some Mirror Dungeon buffs and this really would become a big problem. Oh yeah, definitely.
놀라운 명령이네요.
I can see how that could be the case. I haven't seen the boss yet, of course, but you know.
약점은 파악했어.
If it's something that's basically just Papa Bongi, but he's got poise and can crit you, then yeah, that could just kill you. How do you guys like the interval? I'm still working on it, of course. It seems good. I assume you just like finish this thing. I'm sure I'd be going a lot faster if I was, you know, actually not physically reading the. Like, I'm still not over the huge lore drop of Santa was a color fixer. Like, how do you just say that? What, like... What do you mean? What do you mean?
뭐 위기에 강하다.
We may never know.
맛은 있는 편이 좋은데.
타겟 무력화.
Oh. Ooh, manager gnome. It's like the same thing. I assume this is just like the guy again. But you know, not because that guy died. It's one of those guys, like I said, it's like a mid-level enemy for these creatures. We did not get the pride last turn. Oh well. Probably counter that so you don't, you know, die instantly potentially. We'll see. God. This continues on for too much longer, then Virgilius is going to start blocking some of the skills in the bottom left.
머리 좀 식히고 다시 가보자고.
공격 능력 평가? 양호.
제대로 꽂혔는데.
지금은 기세를 다시 잡았군요.
Okay, sloth time
위기에 강하다.
for the bit.
그런 거야?
We'll also do a little bit of holiday also for the bit, and this will also give sloth power to these guys. Good for, you know, using the sloth stuff.
배는 맛은 있는 편이 좋은데.
The sloth has the highest resonance, so it's the one that we give, you know, the 3 lowest sanity allies the sloth power up this turn. It's a 10% damage off the sloth attack, effectively. Not the biggest thing, of course, but it's something.
한번 휘둘러 모두 쓸어버렸구려.
You did not get it, it would seem. It's probably because you're later in the order. Because everyone's got, like, bullish sanity, it just chose the first 3 people in the turn order, assumably. Which is fine. You know, it's not, like, the most notable, benefit, that's for sure. Gonna get Gregor, that's fine. You can have him. He's not really clashing very well this fight. Kind of been a little bit of a... nothing. I love you, Gregor. He's not good, but he's awesome. I like him. He's funny. That's all it takes sometimes.
깔끔한 전투였어요. 적의 모든
Oh,
파악했거든요.
we got the rare large trinket sack, which is just a random drop or something, and it just means that you've got a for whom the gnomes pass, for whom the bells toll. I need to build a full rupture team I mean, just run the good Rupture IDs, that's the thing. There's only so many good Rupture IDs, of course, like 7 Heath to 7 Faust are really notable ones. Talisman Sinclair can be a lot of fun if you're willing to manage him, but if you're looking for a relatively, like, simple Rupture team, you probably shouldn't use him. He's for more complex types of... Rosebanner Gregor can work well. Keiko Ponglu can work well if you've got other people inflicting Rupture, but if nothing else, Keiko Ponglu can have Dimension Shredder. Of course, Warp Yusong is also a really good Rupture unit. Something like that could work. I'm probably forgetting something, but, like, that's, like, a general consensus of what you can use. Oh, yeah, also, LCCB Ishmael if you're willing to give her more skill 3s. Also a lot of Tremor there. That's for sure. The factory was much larger and much more complicated than it first appeared. Who are these gnomes making gifts for? And why? And that's the question, is it not? W Corp Yusong? Yeah. Really good Rupture unit.
몸을 풀어두죠.
I forget he exists sometimes, so that's why I listed him, like, last in the list. So now that I had some time to look around out here... Yo, look at that little star, like, pillow plush type thing. That's awesome. I'd buy one of those. It's just a goofy little star with a face on it. There's, like, a xylophone, present Santa hat. There's a giant dice. Is that a stop sign? Some sort of sign. Oh no, maybe it's a lollipop, isn't it? Yeah, it is more lollipoppy now that I look closer at the pattern. All the randomly appears to be a gift factory. I see. So there are factories like this that produce gifts. Christmas decorations everywhere. There's still some time until Christmas, though. Sinclair looked to the ground with a somber expression. I didn't need to ask to know how he was feeling. I wonder if monsters exchange gifts with each other. Stop sign, Lethal Company ref. True, this is like a Lethal Company map. There is a possibility that they may be contractors to one of the wings in the city. I wanted to say no chance, but the city and the wings that we've experienced so far were... Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. There was a non-zero chance of that being the case. Maybe C Corp, instead of being the Claw, is actually secretly Christmas Corp. Yeah, Sinclair is not having a fun time.
걱정 마시오. 최후의 혈구 하나만 남아있다면.
What other presents can we see in the background here? Oh, there's a bear. Is it an entire car? I mean, it's still a toy car, but it's like, it looks like one of those toy cars children can, like, drive in or something, you know. It's this time of the year. A very so merry time we hold dear. Yeah, this works. I like my odds. Oh, Tails, nice on the actual damage. That's fine, because he still won the clash. It's the important part. Oh. Nice. Explaining all these guys' weakness to gluttony and wrath. Using the Christmas colors to destroy the Christmas gnomes.
적확한 하늘이었어. 근방의 싸움은 우수했어.
돌격합니다.
God, thinking about it now, like, going back to the whole stuff about, like the red sack and, like, Leviathan, definitely, because the thing is, Virgilius had no intention to dress up like Santa, dress up like the red sack, assumably. But it was Virgilius' office. His office mates were the ones who were like, yeah, you should do this. And they probably were only doing it because, like, he's the new red fixer. Of course he should dress up like the classic red fixer of Christmas time, the red sack. So it was probably really funny to, like, give Virgilius that costume for, you know, Virgilius' office. They were like, oh, this is, we can't miss this opportunity. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make it, to give the red gaze the red sack attire. And, you know, it is pretty funny. Just look at how silly he looks.
사냥이 성공적이었네요.
Okay, another manager now.
사냥을 끝내러 가보죠.
How would be some neutrals as well. That is also how it be. Believe it or not. Literally once in a lifetime, yeah.
다른 방법이 적절하지 않았을까요?
That's how it goes.
대연의 침.
현명한 판단이요.
Interesting.
명령이네요. 적을 완벽히
Is it?
파악하고
I can't
있으신
tell
거군요.
if that is supposed to be a beard exactly. 'Cause it kind of looks like a bunch of stuffing is kind of like leaking out of him, and it just coincidentally looks like a beard.
인내적인
I don't know. It's
조치는
probably just supposed to be bearded. It's not very like closely attached though. It looks like it's like just a bunch of stuffing or something from inside these like little creatures. Salutations. Hello there.
처리할
The good thing is pretty good so far. I haven't had too much issue yet. It's very funny so far. I'm still in shock of the revelation of Santa being a color fixer. And I've said this multiple times already, but like,
다음.
what an insane lore drop to have. Like, it makes perfect sense, I guess, but
이런
still, like,
상황에도
it's...
어떻게 끝이 보이네요.
처리할 시간이야 뭐.
I think it's a beard, but not a real beard, it's a fake beard, yeah.
예, 그. 다음은
That's
어디니?
for sure.
덜 아팠습니다. 유효타 좋아. 계속 집중하지.
Well, we'll see if we get any other insane... Spending some time battling gnomes and trashing the gift factory. We seem to... Is that a foot? Is that a sign with a drawing of a foot? What's that doing there? This one is adorned with a depiction of an eyeball. These gifts appear to be made from materials that do not normally go into building these items. Their shapes are of teddy bears, oil pastel boxes, toy trains. But they have an abnormally high concentration of protein and phosphorus. Ooh. It's pretty short overall. That's what you expect from mid-chapter. That's how it is. However, the decorations and the lights are made of proper materials. They must have salvaged the wastes expelled from the city. It's obvious. GMHF. GMFH. Good. I don't know. Gifts made from humans! Yeah, that's true. More stuff made from human sacrifice. I guess the outskirts isn't so different from the city. What's really concerning is, who are these gifts for? Who in their right mind would want anything like these? Who knows? Rich folks with... So... Honglu's like, I might have, you know, some human-made, like, stuff in my room. No big deal. Oh, that's tiny. If they're making gifts out of people, Heathcliff and Don Quixote, will the gnomes turn them into gifts, too? I do recall them saying something about locally produced materials. Then we must move with haste. I have discovered a location with a high probability of their presence, presuming that they haven't been turned into gifts yet. After a long silence, Merso spoke up. He pointed in a direction. There. The placard says Gift Assembly. Okay, that seems like a pretty good place to go, so...
깔끔한
Oh, whoops.
전투였어요.
I did not mean to hit that button
적의
already.
모든 급소를 파악했군요.
Silly me. Well, we claim more rewards. That's how it goes. Only 7 out of 12. There's still a decent bit left. Or I guess technically 8 out of 12. There's a little bit left, but not much. Oh, we have reached the 2 out of 3rds milestone, though. Factor is much larger and more complicated than it appeared. And who are the gnomes making these gifts for and why? Yeah, it just seems like it's a normal fight here.
목표인가요?
That's fine.
손쉽죠.
I'm starting with a manager wave 1 this time.
우리들에게
Scary, especially given how we are unable to clash with this guy in the slightest, especially with Liu Gregor. I believe in you, Gregor.
처리할 시간이야 뭐지리.
The event total puts you pretty much near the 30 reward,
적합한
almost.
관리법이었어요. 다행이에요.
You actually won the clash, Gregor, really? Come on, get some meds. There we go. That was kind of sad to showcase Ishmael.
놀라운 명령이네요.
배연의
We're actually like winning our clashes fairly well right now, which is pretty funny to see. You're getting countered though, that's fine. You should take it decently enough.
저들이 추풍과 같이 흔들려 보다 유리하지 않겠어.
Okay, you're being forced to clash against the manager again. It's hopeless this time though, so might want to just block with you. Reduce damage taken. You resist blunt, you're weak to wrath, so it's unfortunate. With the bonus, you get about 1.1 to 1.2k sacks for the entire event. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good progress. And I do have the bonus thanks to having the ego for Otis.
재정비를 해보는 게 좋아.
You got staggered, of course.
처리할 시간이야 머저리들.
Maybe 2 weeks farming, you can get all the rewards. Psh, that's assuming you play this game a normal amount of time. I can break those odds. It just gives me more reason to farm Starlight, that's the thing.
서둘러 끝내보자고.
And I already have plenty of a desire to farm Starlight as it is, because I am insane a little bit. Just a little. Forgot about the oh, yeah. Unfortunate. A really nice bonus too, so it is very sad that you've forgotten about it. It's like, because it's a 40% increase. That is pretty notable.
다소 유리한
And once you get the ego, it'll be another additional 20% increase.
배는 맛은 있는 편이 좋은데.
Hello. Hello, cauliflower. I am potentially approaching the end of this. I don't know for sure. I think we've got like what? Like after this, there's like
공격 능력 평가.
2-3 fights left, I think. Nodes in general. We'll see how this goes.
타겟 무력화 확인.
Yeah.
공적을 인사과에 보고해 두겠습니다.
I would have completely forgotten about the bonus too if I had not actually just like I was getting the ego anyway. That's the only reason I remembered the bonus because like I was going to use the ego no matter what because I was just gonna shard if need be.
배연의 춤.
Gotta get it. I gotta stay up to date and everything. I haven't missed any identities, haven't missed any egos, haven't missed any banners yet, and want to see if I can keep it like that for as long as possible. Because, you know, it's funny. I play this game enough that, you know, it's pretty reasonable for me to have, like, everything in the game at any time. I mean, I don't think reasonable is the right word for it. More so expected. It's definitely beyond reason, a wee bit. That's how I operate, though. Beyond reason. You see the new egos text? Sure. We can take a quick look at it after this fight. They're honestly worse than I was expecting. Got to equip the ego, yeah, fair enough. And we also have what is probably the worst ego passive in the entire game now.
여러분은 하실 수 있을 거예요.
It's bonus for you. You're still on the Starlight grind. Yep, absolutely. Grind till I die. That's how it is with the mirror dungeons. Oh, you might die. Okay, no, you're okay. You're fine. Oh. That's not nice. That's really not nice. Okay, it's fine. Because you're not going to be able to do anything else this turn, though. We doesn't care if you kill anyone. Yeah, the Otis ego passive is atrocious. Like, it's comedically bad. It's got a super uncommon trigger for a single potency of a random status effect. Worse than Green Slime. Green Slime does something. I don't know if I can say that about the Otis one. Oh, I got the random. Yeah, that's nice. More trinkets. Oh, that said Gift of Hatred, didn't it? Okay, here's the thing about Green Slime passive. Inflict 1 Rupture on the attacker. Activates highest transfer. Okay, that can be Rupture when hit. That's something you can actually use. When applying positive effects to other allies with skill effects or coin effects with Otis, randomly select one of the following effects, then apply 1 potency of the select effect to 1 random enemy 5 times per turn. Like, unless I'm misinterpreting this, What? What does this do? It's a single potency. In case you're wondering, what actually triggers Fair Presence? Skill 1 and 2 of G Corp gives effects to allies. Skill 3 of Sank. I'm pretty sure. Do you have anything? You know, none of our other identities give buffs to allies with skill effects. Thinking Otis. Yeah. It's actually like... God. And I believe Yasunyada also can trigger it, technically. Like, this one is nothing to allies. I mean, does it count to self, though? Maybe I'm misinterpreting it. That's true. I said it like someone else pointed out to me. I might be misinterpreting it. No, it's it is other allies, so self doesn't count. Don't think the random category you guess was an actual build. PFC doesn't believe otherwise. Yeah. As far as the ego itself actually does, beyond Otis does have a sinking unit, that is true. Primal Burst, damage up to the highest resonance. This is a cool effect. Damage up to the affinity with the highest resonance count. I think it becomes to 4 allies after this. Oh yeah, Otis Sunshower does apply sinking, that is true. Skill 2, apply damage and power. Yeah, that's true. So I guess this does trigger it twice. So that's good, at least. Assuming it, works like that. But still, one of these 5 randomly, single potency. This is really funny. Like, if it was like a little bit more, it would be like something, I guess. I don't know. And then looking at the, Keep the Vigo. Of course, don't have this yet. I need to look at it. Holiday Awakening is the only decent thing. The rest is pretty good. Yeah, it's a cool effect. Once again, Holiday, it has a similar thing. Like 1 in 5 puts you the second effect next turn. However, it triggers multiple times on hit. And it is on hit on a mass attack. So, if you hit 2 targets with this, it can trigger multiple times. Potentially. I assume. I don't know. And then on kill, random is like one of the following effects. Applied to 2 random allies next turn. There's so much random here, and it's so minor for random stuff. Suddenly one day, it's Festivized Body Sack that is also suddenly one day for some reason. This passive seems like it could have potential someday. I don't think it works too well with any of the identities now. I mean, it gives more sinking potency to self, so like it could be good for like Suncliff somewhat. But the issue with that is the fact that, like, of course, it's 3 Gluttony and 2 Envy. You're not going to get this in Suncliff solos. I think suddenly one did just more statuses than Heath Holiday. You used to 5 Gluttony Absolute Resonance, and you hit 2 different targets with Holiday. Yeah, it's not going to make that meaningful difference. It might work really well with the one identity someday, though. That's the wrong identity. So you have a theoretical higher infliction than suddenly one day. But that is still very theoretical and requires you to get a glow. For Pequodcliff sounds interesting at least. The issue with Pequodcliff is, I don't even know if this one gets, like, affected by it. That's the thing. It might only be the skill 1 on use gain 5 poise count instead of 4 with the passive. Maybe if you're lucky, this one also is a +1 poise count, but I don't know. Work with Liu Honglu and 7-Cliff as well as some Egifs, I presume. Yeah, okay. So that's good to know. So that's the wrong idea. But yeah. So that means you gain a +1 poise count from your skill 1, and +1 poise count if the target has bleed with your skill 2. Which is very minor, all things considered. Yeah. You can build up count pretty easily with Pequodcliff by just using his skill 1s once. And of course, Rabbit doesn't need charge. One day, maybe. We might get something good for it one day, but for now, these egos seem pretty underwhelming. They do have potential, though, that's for sure. I have hopes that they get good one day. Anyways, back to the actual story. Gift of Hatred given shape. I'll get you point out what Merso was the gift assembly line. The sight of them selling gifts with the materials they kidnapped was shocking, and the two symbols we were searching for were also about to be turned into gifts themselves. I also realized if you didn't know any better, it sure does look like... It looks like I've potential. I've got this perfectly positioned here so you can't see my friend code. Which is really funny because that was not what I meant at all with this. It was just a random spot for him, but yeah, it looks like I'm trying to hide my friend code with Virgilius Santa.
단테,
How silly.
이번에는 누굴 베어버리면 되는 거야?
I think I'm hearing some odd noise from in there. A rather high-pitched SOS. It's always a good indicator of wonderful happenings. Thank you, Ryoshu. You're not giggle about sounds of screaming, please. I am familiar with this tone. The decibel range of this screaming is an exact match with Don Quixote's. Thank you, Berso. You're so good at identifying Don Quixote's screams. Wait, we have yet to conduct a threat assessment off space, which means... Notice, were Heathcliff with us, he would have said as such. Said what? I think I know. How bloody frustrating. Quit winging, pick up your tools, and get cracking. That was pretty close. Israel soon blasted the door open with a powerful kick. Meanwhile... Oh, where the bloody hell are we? Why am I tied up? That meat press is in the background. Very Tiferet B type. Very like... I mean, it's just kind of like... It's the kind of ones you see in those videos of like the hydraulic press type stuff. But, you know, for flesh and bones and stuff. I regretfully say to thee that we are quite screwed. Forsooth, we are fated to become toys in that hydraulic press. It appears that, when the time cometh, I shall be turned into a roly-poly toy myself, that riseth with every fall. Oh! There is a roly-poly abnormality, so maybe this is foreshadowing. One of the new Mirrodin pre-abnos is like the roly-poly something. Maybe Dawn's gonna get like a Vav out. You go for that or something, who knows. Oi, cut your trap and do something. She wouldn't get a Vav because she's getting under Vav for a season, but like maybe like a Heater Tap or something. You could do it with another test. Sir Heathcliff, I apologize profusely. It's true that there was the tiniest bit of selfishness within me that I wished to procure the Red Sack cosplay set for myself. However, there was no lie that I wished to find thee an impeccable outfit. You little... I knew that this was going to happen. Once I am out of these binds, I'll... At least thou shalt become an elaborate pocket watch. Yo, the Heathcliff watch. The perfect follow-up to the Hawkman watch. Ugh. Once again. Talking about Flesh and Bones, waiting for Bamboo Kim to come back soon. Yeah, that'll be cool, that's for sure. I've been a closed for event. I don't remember if it was like this before. I don't think it... I feel like it... I don't think it was. I think it lasted for a while or something. There was at least one point when there were like 5 banners going on at the same time, right? I don't remember when that was, though. Maybe that was around the time. I think they're gonna turn me into a box of color pencils. 24 vibrant natural colors, or so it says. We've not seen living raw materials in a while, But they're a bit loud, Can you see if my ears are bleeding, The more they scream, the happier our recipients will be, Oh, Mom, then let's get cutting, Boom. Don Quixote. No. Quite cozy in here. Don't know if the whistle picked up on my mic. It might not. Everyone! Out! We're here for you, Heathcliff. Blockhead. Not for Dawn, though. You remember this. If I'm not mistaken, it was during 4.5. Yeah, I think so. I remember I was going through the paid lunacy, like, very fast around that time, I think. I don't think I'd ever be this glad to see your mug. Looks like we got here in the nick of time. Heathcliff was about to be shoved into the gift-making hydraulic machine press. I have you in your strap. Descend. Look, I'm not the type to wear my heart on my sleeve, but after you lot saved me from getting turned into a pocket watch, I have to say it. You absolute idiots! You two had one job to remain by the executive manager's side. Did you let yourself be captured like this? You know what? Forget it. Right. Get a hold of yourself, you two. Manager, what now? Well, we've got to trash this place. Come on, get ready to wear your identity. Okay. Fair enough. Normal things to say, I guess.
여기다가 말하면
Were we actually... Was I given the choice to use Dawn and Heathcliff for this fight? I don't know if I was. They might not have done it, so we didn't know they were, like, free yet. Who can say?
내가 응원하는 게 도움이 되긴 하려나. 힘내긴 해보자고.
Morale boost, not really much of a benefit from that.
갚아주마.
I'll stick with the stronger attack in the hope that it succeeds, and it did. Does decent damage. I guess the tails means it's not doing that much, but they're weak to the wrath, so...
다행이에요.
What was potential? I guess. I think we accept that probably until the end of this event we'll not receive news against any significant new event like a Freshman Victory. Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a month, not too much. We might get some random thing here and there.
한방 먹였네.
I don't know.
기세를 모아서 뚫어보자고. 갚아주마.
I mean, I think that's fair enough. Like, it means, like, we're probably gonna get, like, at least one, maybe two, like, Season 0 banners within this time instead. Depending on if they do a identity banner next week or if they wait for 2 weeks. Basically a dead month. Yeah, it's about time we got some more Season 0 stuff. I mean, I guess we did get saying stuff yet, but there was nothing wrong with a little bit of a dead period.
어떻게 끝이 보이네요.
It's a good time for a dead period, all things considered. You know, all the excitement of the new year is gonna be over, so, you know, we just get a month of relative calmness.
효과적이네요. 이 방식을 기억하고
Probably get some new, like, cool ideas. Something. We might actually finally get, you know, our C3 start this season. Who knows? And, you know, maybe we'll get. It seems like unless we see these hunters, which we might, there's still a silhouette of like a bulky man that we have not seen in person. Then maybe next week will be another event type banner for event ideas. If so, it could make sense.
우리가 우세.
We'll have to see, though. Not the kind of thing that's, like, guaranteed in the slightest, though. It's just a potential situation that could occur. And we will see in time. I mean, we'll see soon. We'll see Friday morning. Technically Thursday night, too, but you know what I mean. Rough, the time of where we'll see whatever the plans for next week are. Oh, and I guess with this update, they finally fixed some of the ego gifts, right, from Mirror Dungeon 3. So now you can actually upgrade up your Miracle Water, and it should actually work, because it was still bugged. And I think it was, I'm sure a couple of the random things were also fixed. Over the holiday there, why not? Merry Christmas. Ooh, we can trigger some self-neglect. Wholesome. Where's the Ishmael Kanto ID? That's true. They're waiting on it. I do think we're actually gonna get it this time. Like, of course, funny, like, farm watch joke, but I think we're gonna get it. The reason we didn't get farm watch is because Yisong got, Spice Bush instead for his, you know, season ID. Yeah. Spice was the thing before 4.5, yes. Spice was the fact it was an ID, not of the final boss, but of, like, the part 2 boss. I think there's a decent chance we still do get Captain Ishmael. It feels like it fits too well, you know? Maybe that'll be like the week the event ends, and then like afterwards we get Refraction Relay. Maybe it'll be the Refraction Relay update for all we know. But it's possible, I guess. A lot of questions still remain.
유효타 좋아. 계속 집중하지.
완전한 침묵.
And you should die too here? Okay, there we go. Nice.
침묵.
Lost in thought for a second, just thinking about how things seem to be going. Also, there sure was like a very ominous looking like sleigh in the background there. After we defeated the horde of gnomes, Don Quixote and Heathcliff fell to their knees before everyone. I also knelt down, feeling like I should be down there with them, but Otis tightly pulled me to the side. I feel bad for those two. Very menacing. People explain far much would be disrespectful or something to the author or something like this. Dongring is based on a person who is not very well liked, historically, basically. So, some people didn't like how he was portrayed in a more sympathetic light, you know, something like that. I am ready, commenced Lady Otis. You absolute buffoons. How did you ever think that this was going to turn out okay? Are you even aware of the risk the executive manager took to get here? How worried they were about you two? Well, actually, Clockhead was in on it from the start. Silence! Do not refer to the executive manager with such derogatory language, insolent fool. Oh, was my fault. Was it my fault? My mother used to scold me like this in my... Oh, no. Merso mother reference. Interesting. His mother that, you know, the funny quote is from. His mother died today or yesterday. He doesn't know for sure. Otis did not seem to slow down at all with her stern scolding, and the pair fell completely silent, their heads hung low. I decided to wander away from this scene. This guilty conscience was too much for me to bear. Is Crayon doing okay? Yes, she merely lost her consciousness from excess psychological shock. How did you find yourself at a place such as this? You are human, right? And we're really in the outskirts. Crayon initially appeared somewhat taken back from the deluge of questions, but she soon began to open up. So, you're really from the city? I'm from Cloud Town. It's a village on the north side of the outskirts. Are there a lot of monsters like those gnomes out here that can speak? Yeah, there are many more monsters out here rather than the gnomes. I've seen a few of them myself, but the village elders told me about the rest. Our village was built to keep the monsters out, to keep us safe. If this didn't happen, we'd all be preparing dinner back at the village by now. I think funny, this week you finished running Mirror on hard with 22 EU gifts. I think I've gotten stupid amounts of EU gifts sometimes. It's really good to build them up, because that's how you gain Starlight, especially Mirror on 3 hard. So they raided your village. Yeah, and they attacked us when the hunters were gone, so... We normally don't get raided by them around this time of year, so I thought we were safe. But they suddenly attacked us, rushing in on their sleighs. God, attack sleigh gnomes. Some of us tried to fight, but we didn't stand a chance, and everyone that they killed got shoved into the sacks on that sleigh. I passed out from fright, and they thought I was dead too. I got shoved into the sacks like the rest of the villagers. Oh, we forced you to talk about something that couldn't have been easy for you to go through. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. Can I ask things too? Anything. Is it right that crayon boxes in the cities have 48 different colors, and that they have gold and silver colored crayons too? Probably. And there's just people in the city, right? No monsters like the gnomes that try to kill us, right? It's kind of hard to answer, so my crayon box to draw them all. I wish I could live in the city. If I lived there, I'd never have to worry about getting attacked by monsters. I could live happily with all my neighbors. You've really never been to the city, huh? Yeah. Crayon is so idealistic about the city, and it's kind of breaking Rodion's heart here, you can tell. No idea that it's still the horrors. Good night, Armagon. SSE. I'm sorry? Same story everywhere. Doesn't matter where you are. Death always stalks us. This is a child reissue. What are you doing? Whoa, that was so cool. Can you say that again? Huh? That was cool? Oh, did you guys see anyone else near any other humans out here? Maybe here, outskirts area. Yeah, we're getting outskirts stuff. It's pretty wacky. Cloud Town, up in the northern side of like the outskirts. City's almost worse than the outskirts. They're different types of bad. The outskirts is kind of like, well, like wilderness like style. Like there's monsters that'll just kill you. There's no sense of order. the city has like an order to it, but it's still a very cruel order. It's like the difference between like very cruel and orderly and very cruel and disorderly. I think that's how I describe it personally. We don't know for sure. No, but he has to be here to save us. Who do you mean? The best hunter of Cloudtown. If he was at the village, gnomes wouldn't have. It would appear that in the outskirts there are hunters who specialize in hunting monsters, akin to whalers of the Great Lake, that is. But wait. So if they're kidnapped and killing humans for these gifts, who are these gifts for? Ho ho ho! Of course, the gifts are for our poor and kind neighbors who do not cry. Executive Manager, retreat! I don't know when it happened, but a large shadow was looming over us. Say there is the purge hour, doesn't it? Yes, but it's a very orderly purge, all things considered. Like, it has like a 30 minutes in the night in the back streets where the sweepers come and kill everyone, and it doesn't hit like neighborhoods and stuff. I don't know where it happened, but a large shadow was looming over us. What is that thing? I am Santata, bringer of gifts to our neighbors. Ho, ho, ho. The guffawing giant, garbled in red, carrying a massive gift sack on his shoulder. It was definitely not a human. Yeah, it's that git. That one's the boss. Hello, the crimson garb. That is the crimson garb that I spoke of. Apparently, they jumped up from their knees and began shouting in unison. That's the red sack's outfit. Oi, then he's already... No, not the reindeer man, too. Yeah, shut it. Cut the useless chatter for once. He's like invested in like the red sack lore at this point. After silencing the pair with a short, stern command, Otis approached me and spoke in a low voice. Executive Manager, since he appears to be of an intelligent species, I will attempt to parley with it. We'll best prepare for battle in case the talks fall through. Yeah, that's a good idea. Wait, you got it right? Santata? Did you guess Santata? Or no, you guessed Red Sack. Yeah, okay. Reindeer Man is dead. We'll have to see what happened to Reindeer Man. Seems like I don't think it's looking too great for Red Sack though, yeah. What do you mean by neighbors? Wings? Climbs from the city? Ho ho ho. But we are denied entry to the city, are we not? Is that big lump of meat a gnome too? I happened to overhear the gnomes during our time in captivity. They call their master Beard Giant, which I believe is not a gnome. A giant? There really are all kinds of monsters out here, huh? Dante, that's not an abnormality, is it? Nope, that's not an abnormality or a distortion. I'd say it's closer to the whales. Ho ho. You yearn for gifts too, yet your kind already owns all there is to own. We and our neighbors in the outskirts wish so dearly for that very day, the only day we are allowed joy and comfort in human gifts. I see. You produce toys out of humans and gift them to those who harbor hatred for humans. Makes enough sense. Out of pure goodness of your heart. Here, where all those who have been marginalized and exiled by humans gather and wallow. We pour our infinite hatred and care into packaging these gifts. Ho, ho, ho. Quite the verbose way of saying I refuse to negotiate. Ho, ho, ho. Why don't you come here and join us? Become joy to those who need it. Well, seems like it is boss time. The gift-giving giant. This isn't the final node. No, the final node is going to be the event-specific one. That's like the one that you grind, right? There's going to be this guy. This will be the final node, basically, and there's going to be a hard mode, right? Because it says 9. This is the 10th. This will be 11. And 12th will be the extra one, I presume. Maybe the extra one will be like 13, though. I don't remember. Or negotiate time with the bearded giant Santata predictably fell through. We have no choice but to defeat him here. That's right. We did tier list after the season again. I don't know. I might do tier list again sometime. I think my opinion is very different from most, though. Oh, this song goes hard. You didn't get this far myself, but you're missing some context, but tee-hee. Fair enough. Okay, manual targeting. Yes, excellent. Let me get rid of this new symbol so if we actually use a new hospital like that. Let's see just how well we can clash here. So far the answer is not too well. That clashes well at least. We seem to not have anything that capture them. Might have to stick with this neutral then. Okay, this will work decently enough. I don't know. All the context you need to know is the fact that, like, you know, we've taken a door in the bus that's brought us temporarily to the outskirts in this Santa monster. And you know, the Santa monster is kidnapping children, turning them into gifts, giving them to other monsters. You watch for your opinion and discussion. Different idea for most, I'm sure. Yeah. Sure, this stuff could be fun again. I want to do that again sooner or later. Yeah, that is true. I don't know. It's the kind of thing I'll do every once in a while, but like I don't feel the need to do it too often. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. It's down to whatever it's down to, I guess. I don't know.
칼날이 잘 드네요. 아마 그 공격이 약점이었겠죠?
I'm true savage that anything goes as far as nonsense that can have in the outskirts. Yeah. The most important thing this event establishes is the fact that Santa was a color fixer. I keep on repeating it, but like, what do you mean Santa's a color fixer? It's such an insane plot point. But like, it makes... Does it make perfect sense? I don't know if it does. Maybe. I guess so in the city. I do like that it establishes that, you know, if we ever want to go somewhere that makes no sense for the sinners to be in at a certain time of the year for an event, they can just use a random door or portal, and then we can get there. Great, some of you guys now. I assume we have the 10 during this, but I didn't check. Probably should have checked. Oh, no. Don't let Clash and Greed here. Oh, I guess we can go for a little bit of a holiday, though. That's good. Let's see if I can hit both of the big guys with it, though. Like that. Yeah, that'll work well. What's the scariest to clash against? Probably the 2-coin one, right? Yeah, okay, we'll do that then. That should hit both the targets we're looking for, right? Yes, looks like it. Okay, that's good. Now we just gotta clash everything else. Harper is at Dawn called an ancient. That is true. The library's in the outskirts. Yeah, that is also important to keep in mind in basically every situation. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Do that. And that, maybe? Looks good. Holiday for a little bit of sanity. That'll be good. Outskirts stuff is definitely be interesting to learn about eventually, because it's a very strange, like, thing, really.
놀라운 명령이네요. 적을 완벽히 파악하고 있으신 거군요.
It is a little sad that we're not actually going to be fighting Santdolf, because, it means that if we're, depending on how things go, Santdolf might become another Bacillus suit type Abno that we just never see and only exists as egos. Although I guess in this case we know it's an aberration of Rudalta, so at least we know more about it. But Bacillus suit we know nothing about. It has weird soup egos for some reason. And that's it. No, there's been no further elaboration. Which is really funny. That's for sure. What isn't funny? Oh. How old is ancient? I mean, we now have like a vague order of red fixtures though, right? Because Red Sack has to have been before Red Mist, and Red Mist was of course before Red Gaze. So there's some sort of like, there's giant gaps in between them. But we've got no idea like what those gaps exactly are. How are you guys doing? We're doing great. We are on the boss stage right now. Gotta kill some more of these gnomes and then I need to get rid of these gnomes. Oh, I need to do this. This song does go very hard though. this very festive, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a very jolly song, though, that's for sure.
처리할 시간이야 머저리.
It's how Limit narrows it down, yeah. I think the city, no one knows the time frame of the city. That's kind of like the entire thing that, like floor of history type, like, discussion and stuff in Ruin. It was basically just, they don't know their history. What is there to know? And that's just kind of how it is. It's a matter of when now, and not if when we'll find the library. Oh yeah, it was always a matter of when. There's no way that they aren't just bringing them back sooner or later. Everyone loves them too much. Maybe the city building game is going to be the outskirts. Could be. I mean, my theory, if anything, it's probably going to be New Elcor. Because, like, what else would need a city building type stuff like that big? I don't know. The idea of a city builder, I feel like, knowing Project Moon, their idea of a city builder is very different than what everyone else is expecting for a city builder. And, like, oh yes, a city builder, and then it's going to be, like, completely different than anything we could have ever guessed. Because that's, like, the Project Moon way of doing it. I don't know exactly what that entails, though, beyond just the fact that it's probably not the kind of game we can make a lot of good predictions on.
우리가 우세. 서둘러 끝내보자고.
Anything less damage would get Tomorrow's Fortune or enemies defense level +4, but get the bloody gadget. Ooh, I mean, it depends on how early you are. Tomorrow's Fortune is really good early on, but if you're later on, it's pretty garbage. While bloody gadget is just a damage up, you can upgrade it for even more damage up. I don't know if that's the best upgrade to go for, though, but if you don't have anything else to upgrade, it could be a good choice, especially if you do have at least 2 people's plus. Oh god. Here's the guy himself, though, Santada. Body, gift sack. I'm getting a lot of Bongi vibes. Bongi guys vibes from this guy. He's not charged. It's a charge unit. Santana's a charge. Why do you have charge? Ugh. The curse continues, never broken, huh? Oh, we need to get tomorrow, so yeah, that's probably for the best. Okay, I assume we got to hit. Oh, you've also got a Sasuke. I should probably check this out. Gain 3 points every turn. Heal 3 SP for every attack skill that dealt damage at turn end. I'll gift wrap you. Curse continues until I never enter. With my infinite gift, I will give you more charge support.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
It's a present for someone we know. It really is. You know, charge is the gift that keeps on giving. Why did I ADD that? What was my thought process there? I guess charge? I find faith in your status. It's kind of very good. Passive time? Lose poison when hit by an attack skill. Okay, that's good to know. Gift Shack is destructible, so you need to destroy that. Field HP completed, P to get staggered next turn. Okay. I mean, that's a simple enough mechanic. Just do enough damage and he gets staggered. I thought it was obviously huge, but in cutscenes it looked like he was a little shorter than Rodion, which I think is funny. Yeah. That kind of thing is very inconsistent, the cutscenes, like, height. Incraft equal to the speed difference of target is bind. Oh. Interesting. Let's go over a little. Let's spread a little bit of holiday cheer, though. I know how much you enjoy it. Oh, we're gonna need to do redirecting things, though, otherwise it's gonna be rude. There we go. Now we can hit both parts. Excellent. Ah, so jolly. So jolly. Oh, we need to target this first, don't we? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, good thing I remembered that. Otherwise, that could have been bad. Clash something, right? Clash that. We need to do this then, yeah. We need to make sure this goes first. The descent skill is why you're so afraid about this boss going to Mirrodin. Yeah. I understand that. You're attacking Gregor a little bit. Oh, that sure is the "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" like theme in the song. I noticed that earlier. I forgot to comment on it before and now. God. But I'm missing a red set. Callie, you confirm. True.
이 선물을 퍼부어 주도록 하지.
현명한 판단이요.
Another situation where it is just really rude that the game does not show you the actual, like, number. Okay, we broke the shield, so you get staggered next turn. Excellent. I mean, you just need to do 100 damage to him. Like, the thing is, if he gains, like, a plus, like, whatever, like, 10 roll to defensive skill, that really doesn't make that big of a difference, you know? Like, I assume that's, like, the scary thing here. It's really just evade skills that are awful with the defense power, right? Because you just lose. Oh, you also have slash fragility thanks to that. That's pretty good. Oh, your entire thing is staggered, so we could go for the gift sack here. 10 plus charge gain ho-ho-ho every turn. What does this do? Oh, it's not going to tell me. Okay, cool. Oh, I can check here. Gain poise on self divided by 5 poise count next turn expires at 0 charge. And low HP and 10 charge. Lose all charge when the unit is staggered. Sure thing. They encounter the best buffs or defense buffs, so you can very easily become a wall with this skill. Yeah. I can see that. Also, did I need to do this in our 10 turns to EX this? Because if so, that isn't happening, very unfortunately. Definitely should have been using more egos if so, but I'll just come back for it later. They really care they would put every boss in Mirrodin in 3 yard, yeah. True. Oh, there's a normal stagger. Interesting that it actually triggered the normal stagger. Normally it just wouldn't. Okay, any new passives yet? I assume breaking the gift sack will, like, weaken you or something, but, game's not really telling us, which is kind of odd. You do have a very jolly aura to you. Oh yeah, there's ho-ho-ho. 2 poise count next turn, red 0 charge. Simple enough. We're kind of ratioing you with our clashes. I'll go for Legger Domain 2 for, you know, a little bit of jolly luck. But there we go. You just nuke the box with Sun Shower and Sloth skills. Yeah. It definitely works. Bad, unfortunate clash list. Robot, Rose's Peckwad, both Dong back. Yeah. Give us both Dong Rings, but in a single fight. Especially since each of them already has, like, 3 phases of its own, so it'll be a 6-phase fight. Because you fight Dong Ring, you denies all, and then immediately go into Farm Watch. Just in one fight. Also give him charge. Just for fun. Honestly, at this rate, they might as well, you know? And we finish you off here. Yeah, it didn't really... Your gimmick was kind of non-existent, it feels... I mean, no, your gimmick was breaking the shield. You're basically just an easier shock centipede, though. Yeah, Phalanger's the only refraction really 2 enemy to show up in Mirrodin 3R. Such a missed opportunity. Humans, all separate that flesh from your bones! Sentada's gut suddenly began to expand. All of you, hold your breaths! Suddenly, a large figure leaped out of the dark and slammed what looked like a stake into Sentada's gut. Oh, the smell was foul! I think I'm about to pass out. The scent of potently fetid refuse lingers. Some sinners dropped to the floor while the others gagged profusely. Clearly it was a rather painful experience for all. Sort of Ahab and blinded in the same fight. Yeah, have Ahab just lead like a bunch. Make it so like they add an Ahab fight where it's got like a list of like people that it throws in, and it randomly just chooses like 3 different people to throw in with Ahab. Do the same thing for like My Four Empties too. Make it so there's a bunch of random things you can show. Make it so Ahab can command other Ahabs. Make it so Ahab can command like 3 separate, like every single form individually of Gas Harpoon. You can say that TM is going too easy on the Limbites. For now, that's the thing. I'm happy with Lured Blind Obsession, Lured Brazen Bull, and Lured Queequeg. Peru. This gas does not appear to be toxic. However, its scent seems to inspire an extreme level of discomfort in people. Ooh, there he is. The Hunter. So you've defeated a northern giant. You don't seem to know the proper procedure for what to do afterwards. Are you hunters from the city? Proper procedure? Immediately before death, a northern giant's body fills with noxious gas before exploding in a rain of acid. The man who staked Santata's gut explained as he approached us. You have to puncture a hole in its gut to let out the gas before its internal organs condense it into acidic fluid, allowing it to cause a chain reaction could complicate things. Okay, that guy seems chill. So jolly. Put white in there, yeah. God, there he is just standing there menacingly. A Journey's End. Yeah, this is the final one. Yep. We defeated Santata, but his body began to expand as though it's about to explode. That's when you hear a sudden, unfamiliar voice from somewhere. The stench won't come off. Who's that now? Sir Domino! Domino? So is everyone in Cloud Town named after... Oh, that's the joke, isn't it? Because everyone in Cloud Town is probably based on toys, I assume? Named after some sort of toy. That makes sense. I was wondering that, especially when Crayon was talking about when Crayon was going to be turned into crayons. That's probably what the joke is, because they're so close to, like, the Santa Workshop type thing. And there honestly might be more of them. If Northern Giants are so common, maybe they're all, like, maybe many of them are Santa-like. Crayon, who'd been holding her breath with her fingers over her nostrils, ran up to the large man and hugged him. At least you're safe, Crayon. That's good. After stumbling for a moment, due to the stench, most likely, Otis briefly gasped for air before approaching Domino. Hey, you, identify yourself. Name's Domino. I'm a monster hunter from Cloudtown. I don't suppose I can call it a town anymore now that it's just me and Crayon that's left. Relax. I wouldn't even think of hurting any of you. That we might see an aberration price of science and practice Rule 3. Yeah, I hope we do. I hope we do, and I hope it turns off auto battle. Normally around this time of year, these monsters would have gone further north to a different village. So I was on an expedition to help them out. Looks like they decided to switch things up this time around. When I returned, they'd already finished their raid on our village and left. They used to be predictable, attacking only right before Christmas. Do these tragedies happen often? Though I can't speak for the city, I can say that this is a common occurrence in the outskirts. It's a hellish place to live if you can even call this living. Survival alone is a miracle out here. There are a lot more places out here like this. Like this mockery of a gift factory. No, can't say I've seen a factory like this anywhere else, but I can tell you one thing. Compared to some worse things that could have happened, this tragedy was nothing. That's the natural order of things in the outskirts. I do wonder sometimes, if we were in the city, no matter how bad it gets in there, it must be better than this living hell. There's no easy contemplation to answer. The outskirts must be a hellish place to live, if what he's told me is anything to go by. But city they admire so much. Don Quixote stopped herself, realizing that every other sinner was giving her a look of disapproval. Thank you for your kind words, at least. I wish it were that easy. If I could at least let this child into the city somehow, just like that. But the city... has no place to spare for this child. Not even a small corner of it. Even if you were to somehow make it past the city's walls, there are countless variations of paperwork and procedure you must overcome before you can live the kind of life you desire. And what would people like us even do with such paperwork? And where would we find them out there? We're not studied or work to find a job in the city as some youths of other villages do. Mister... There was an uncomfortable silence. Domino cleared his throat and continued. I must still extend my gratitude for keeping the girl safe until my arrival. I know a good way to extend your gratitude. Maybe you could extend us a nice pouch of shiny and jangling bag of... Rodian's eyes were twinkling. The lingering stench made it difficult for her to speak, but she was determined to make her point. Something shiny and jangling? Sure, maybe I can give you a tour of some antique items I kept to keep at home. Precious items salvaged from the locomotive tracks of the outskirts. Not something you'll see every day. Faust, there's still a decent chance the door we entered through might just shut behind us, right? Indeed. In fact, it is unclear whether the door is still open. I recommend a quick return to the bus now that our two primary objectives have been secured. So she says. If you would permit me to speak my mind, Executive Manager, even if it is not the Great Lake, the outskirts is an extremely perilous place. This curiosity cannot be a reason for us to risk getting stranded in this environment. Looks like you've got to hurry back. Well then, catch. Domino tossed a carved wooden doll in my direction. It does not appear to be anything dangerous. Let us inspect further after we return. We mustn't dally any longer than we have to. We just keep on collecting all sorts of various trinkets along our journey. Yeah, good idea. Some sinners had passed out and had to be carried by others. Most could not stop gagging at the stench, but we still made our way back to the door. The door has remained open. We made it back to the safety of Mephistopheles, and Virgilius has only praise for us, I'm sure. Sometime later. Ooh, Stinky. Karen, evacuate. Evacuate. Karen quickly made her escape to the deck. And Virgilius greeted us in the cabins with a terrifying gaze. Looks like everyone's had quite the adventure. Covered in blood and guts, and with a disgusting stench to boot. Oh, this is... Manager. I can't hear you anyway. So just reply to my query with a nod or a shake. Your replies better match up with my expectations, of course. I have but one question. Was it you who made the call? I hesitated for a moment before nodding affirmatively. I might get reprimanded, or maybe he has worse things in mind for me, but it was I who decided to go along with their plan. This would not have happened without my authorization. Good. Then my questioning is over. Huh? I will leave it to you to deal with this mess. You may rest afterward, and please do something about this belt, then. Well then. With that, Virgilius disappeared into the back door once again. Huh. That's unexpected. I thought my time had finally come. Be glad. Best consultation is a consultation not had indeed. Alas, behold one and all. I don't know when she had the time to pick it up and all that chaos, but Don Quixote managed to haul a huge sack of gifts back to Mephistopheles. A sack of gifts made out of people. Okay. You picked that up from all that mess? I have laid claim upon the evil gnome's trinkets. Now that's some real commitment. What's all that for? Art thou truly unaware of mine intentions? It's for adorning our ship with Christmas decorations. Wait, no? But we're still like 3 months away from Christmas. Agreed. Let us not risk healing old wounds. Okay. I've been getting better with time. Little by little. Where's the player? Yeah, we can all grow beyond it. Eventually. Marvelous! Then this appears to be an occasion most fit for a party then. What say you? Don't tell me you went through all that trouble for some party decorations. According to Dante's explanation, this incident was spurred on by Heathcliff's need for an outfit. Heathcliff has been silently brooding in his seat with his face buried in his palms. Out of shame, most likely. Ahem, verily, verily, yet that very costume we had sought was worn by none other than that monstrous giant. I don't suppose it would fit Sir Heathcliff anyhow. Forget it. It wasn't the kind of look I was going for, anyway. Yeah, he didn't even have a shirt on. I loved how, like, on Christmas. Oh, yeah, that's right. That is very accurate depiction. Since it sure is, like, those are probably made from, like, intestines and stuff, yeah? What did I say, Heath? We'll help you out as soon as we land, okay? The outfit's one thing, yeah. But the, you were speaking of the port ship we sailed past. The port ship on which the hair salon that printed those hair coupons conducts their business. The coupons could not be used, as the port ship was not in our charted route. Leave it to me to style your hair. I've done my sister's and younger siblings' hair pretty often. We don't know how long we'll be floating on this lake anyway, but besides, I don't even know how to dress myself proper. I was going to attempt the trial and error method. Okay, but couldn't you at least tell us what it is that Virgilius gave you? Just so that we know what exactly you're so anxious about. Thought it. After a deep, heavy sigh, Heathcliff produced a letter? So that's the something Virgilius gave you. Is it from Kathy? Oh, I remember. My family's used this envelope before. It's made from really expensive paper, made only in limited quantities at a time. It's quite a luxurious envelope. Can we read it, Heath? Sure. It's nothing impressive. Then Dante, why don't you read it out loud for the rest of us? You're not like you're 3 months away from Neo's birthday. True. Sure. Rhodia handed me the letter. It was written in a beautiful series of cursive handwriting, drawn to an almost calligraphic perfection. I began reading. From Wuthering Heights, of course that's the location of the manor that Heathcliff is, from. We cordially extend you, honored guest, an invitation to the... what's this here? Somebody colored over this part of the letter. Well, I'll keep reading. Venue, Wuthering Heights, T-Corp Nest. Should you accept our invitation, please convene at the designated location by 4 in the afternoon on the 24th with this letter on your person. Please honor this occasion with your presence. With great respect, Nellie. Is this the other lady? Oh, and down here's a postscript. It's written in a different handwriting from the rest of the letter. Yes, you have to be here, Heath. I'll be waiting. Kathy. It's in purple, just like Heathcliff's color. We had no way to tell what kind of occasion it was on account of it being colored over, but... Clearly the rest of the letter's contents had stoked the fire of passion in Heathcliff's heart once again. So... You gotta look fashionable and classy for this Kathy person, right? Well, yeah, but there's more to it then. Shh. Quiet now. Now I can clearly see why you were so impatient, Heath. Huh? Why are you looking at me like that, oi? I'll leave it up to you to style his hair, Master Hairdresser Honglu. Ooh, I wouldn't call myself a master. Oi, wait, where are you taking me? What in the... this grip? Yeah, Roger's got quite the grip strength. You won't free yourself from her anytime soon. Rodeo, who gripped. The two sinners, practically hauling Heathcliff by his arms, disappeared into the back door. Now Heathcliff's fate was sealed. To be a mannequin to now motivated and unbearably bored, Roja's various experimentations. I can hang this trinket here and... Don Quixote began humming a song. A carol, perhaps, as she placed the various trinkets around the buck. I decided to go out to the deck for some air. I leaned on the railing and dug through my pocket. The wooden doll Domino the Hunter gave me just as we hurriedly left. I held it and felt its texture under my fingers. My eyes looked into the distance, towards where the outskirts lies. I thought for a moment about the gnomes, the giant, and the things Domino told me. I suppose there are people with stories in the outskirts, too. Stories different from those of the city. Like books? There sure are a lot of books in the outskirts, if that's what you're talking about. Faust approached from behind and stood next to me. I wasn't sure how much of what I said she heard. Follow the stars, Dante, star by star. Then, you will one day learn. So for now, follow the closest star that shines before your eyes, Heathcliff. Yeah, I have to focus on the stories of the city for now. I don't even know who I really am, after all. Okay. Cacophony going on in there. Joyous laughter and frustrated howls echoed out of the cabins. They must have finished dressing up Heathcliff. Why don't we go take a look at how Heathcliff is doing, Faust? You make a rather tempting offer, Dante. The added color of the bus's interior warmed my heart a little. Oh. There we go. That is the end. This is just a replayable Santalita. You can keep on doing this. You get 120% time, 50 trinket sacks each time. So you can just grind that for a while to get all the trinkets you need. And of course it costs a module, as you'd expect, to make it a little more bearable. Didn't quite get the EX clear this time, that's fine, that's how it goes. I'll do these on my own time. I'll do some grinding as well. I gotta make sure I can get as much of the stuff as possible. 922 trinket sack, I'll get a bunch more when I do this one. What if the answer to who Dante is in the library? It's possible, although I think we're gonna need a couple more connections before we can say that for certain.
구태여 좋냐 안 좋냐를 따지자면
yeah, my
밤보다는
weeklies.
낮을 선호하는 편입니다.
Nice.
보이지 않을수록 이해가 어렵기 때문입니다.
Very interesting mid-chapter. A lot of random lore stuff, such as, more stuff about the outskirts. We learned about a new color fixer, the hunters of the outskirts. Potentially, maybe, who knows, maybe we're going to get a domino identity? I don't really know, though. It would be nice, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we just didn't. Doesn't really feel like there would be a fitting 2-star in that situation. Do not think we should get Crayon as an identity. That would be a little strange. I don't know. Pretty cool stuff, though. Heathcliff is a bunch of Heathcliff lore. Heathcliff's definitely going to be going through a very interesting time. But that's in... what, we've still got like 2.5 months, right? Yeah, 2.5 months. So for now, we just kind of enjoy Season 3 for what it is, whatever we're going to be given. And we do have another mid-chapter to look forward to. It's not like last time where after SEA, the next thing we were looking forward to was, we had to wait till all the way to Canto 5. This time, we've got the Bamboo Kim event, and now we have a decent idea that chances are we're going to encounter them in T-Corp. Yeah, it would make sense. Maybe we might encounter them in T-Corp, and that's, like, going to be part of, like, the obstacle as we try and, like, get something fancy for Heathcliff. Because if we are going to actually try and make Heathcliff look presentable, that really feels like it should be done in the mid-chapter, not the actual... I highly doubt it. And I don't particularly think we want more than... T-Corp backstreets. Yeah. Definitely feels like a fitting place to find, him just kind of randomly after the library. And it will be meeting up with another library person. So that's cool. I think that'll be all for this time. I could do the special thing, but I'm kind of losing my voice right now. Need to take a break for a bit. Oh yeah, we can't go there yet. I'll do this on my own time. I'll do some grinding on my own time. I'll do Mirror Dungeon 3 hard with, the new ego and stuff, of course, tomorrow. And also, important thing to note for anyone who is unaware, Ruina stream. I'm going to be doing the first Ruina stream on Saturday. I think the plan is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check when in your time zone. I'll make sure to schedule that and something. I've got a form for that as well. I can pull that up if you guys have yet to see it. Of one you can use to submit your own librarians for that, if you so desire. If I just grab the link. So if anyone wants to, get their librarian submitted in for that, I'm going to be spinning a wheel a bunch of times during that run to add people's librarians to the game. And of course, I've played the game before, but it'll be fun to go through it again with all of your random garbage, whatever this may be. That'll be cool. Feel free to join in that on Saturday. It'll probably be every Saturday. varying times. I hope to actually do it like a little earlier streams sometimes in the future, because time zones exist. But we'll see. But yeah. Final thoughts on the mid chapter? Pretty cool stuff, that's for sure. They're definitely setting up Dawn. Dawn's gonna have a major part in this next canto, and for good reason too, since her own troubles are going to be coming shortly after Heathcliff's. But question at hand, of course, is Heathcliff, and how he's about to go through quite a rough time. That'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next stream. Bye.